technology.
Yeah, welcome to the third Hammered of War.
My second.
Well, he's second and a half.
You were there. He was just under the table the whole time in the last episode.
Failed an impulse.
Yeah.
Yeah. He fell prey to some of the dark spirits of the Slaneshi gods.
Aw.
Yeah. And,
Speaking of dark spirits.
Yes. Yeah. What? Hang on.
Oh
What you
no,
drinking,
you're not.
Walter?
You're not 21 yet, 40 kit. You don't.
He might be past 20.
In cat years.
So
Yeah.
okay.
So what's the tiki today?
The tiki today is that was brought to my attention last time we did this. I was told to make a jungle bird, and so I took that to heart, and I went and got myself some Capardi and Campari.
Sure.
Sure. I got myself some of that, and I got myself some sweet, dark, grimdark rum.
Great.
And it's a bunch of that, and then it's got a bunch of fruit in it, and it's a little bitter, but real delicious. Not as sweet as your average tiki drink, but I could still put down too many of these.
Okay.
That's how you know it's good.
Oh, the rum is.
I'll put that in the drink book.
Put it in the book.
Yeah.
So let it be written. So let it be
Put it
drunk.
in the drink book. What are you drinking, Matt?
I am drinking a Boulevard wheat grapefruit.
Drinking game. Very patriotic
Yeah.
beers. Yeah. Yeah.
It's the Kai Eagle.
Drinking some local.
That's
And my cocktail of the
Yes.
evening, bourbon and ice cubes.
Bert.
That's how.
Such a classy cocktail.
Yeah,
you
You're
always
on the
make.
cubes.
Okay. Chilled bourbon.
Ah.
So yeah. All right. So before we get into our whatever we usually do, let's talk news and rumors. What's coming?
News and rumors. Well, the biggest news for the 40K people is all the hullabaloo about the new core rules, where they're making some units. So, we all know there's troops and elites and all these other choices. So they revealed, Games Workshop did, that there are going to be a new keyword for some troops called core. And in the example, your characters that often have cool aura abilities that give nearby units, most famously Space Marines give them all sorts of rerolls, those will only apply to core units as shown in the example. So a Space Marine Captain no longer gives a sweet reroll bonus to the repulsor he's sitting next to, but he does give it to his fancy intercessors or tactical marines or units that are designated core, which they've said is going to be most of your standard infantry units, but not necessarily just troop choices. Some armies might have it
And
for
it won't
vehicles.
work on himself either.
Spike squads
And
and
it
two
won't,
blades.
for instance, yes, and it might work. It won't work on himself, which is a big deal. So
Nor will a lieutenant affect a captain, and
Yes.
vice versa.
because they are not core, which fills me with joy because nothing in the game should be a 2-up and then you get to reroll. That is too not fun because it's fun to miss occasionally. I mean, it's fun for my opponent to miss occasionally. I don't want to miss that.
No, I don't either.
Yeah.
That's
all
very
right.
good. So that's the big to do.
I got distracted reading the heavy intercessors.
Well, the big to-do-
Oh, because
And
heavy
then-
intercessors. Oh,
Yeah.
oh, they give me. Hold on,
Yeah.
I need a fan. Why don't
Yeah.
we have a fan here?
Just toad lights.
I know, because that's what it was like. Let's talk core. I was like, let's pull up the
Oh,
article.
toughness for
Heavy
the troops.
intercessors.
So
Ooh.
many heavy bolters.
7 power though.
Well, yeah, but because they're hot.
But cuz.
But they're going to be a thing.
I mean,
anyway,
I want 20 of them.
I want. They're going to do some work
Yeah.
for us.
So there's
That's
that.
the big thing. The Pariah Nexus
Yeah,
battle
Battle
zone
Zone
is going to
Pariah.
show up if you want to have some.
It's on
a
pre-order
Pariah.
next week.
Yes.
Is that,
Not tomorrow.
Is that like those old? Is that like the previous Battlezone books they've done?
Yeah, it's going to be like the Vigilist thing,
Yeah,
except
okay.
it's going to be more Crusade-y.
It's all
And
crusade.
you know who loves Crusade? These people.
This
There's
table.
This
24
table.
missions.
I will
in
play it someday.
6 at each level.
It's going to be cool times.
Is my math right? Probably not.
No, that would be
Yeah.
18. But
They're talking
There's four.
well,
lots
there's
of
4 levels.
lots of Varus.
Damn it!
some
I wanted to make fun of your math
It's
and I
24.
can't.
Yeah,
It's
these articles.
Son of a
It's
bitch.
really easy and
Yeah.
usually can't.
There's
I
lots
know,
of
but I
there's
can't
lots
say.
of there's lots of stuff about Blackston pylons and things
Yes,
like that.
which we're going to talk a little bit about the Blackston and the pylons
Yes.
and the things like that. So we're going
Correct.
to have some discussion.
Oh, that's cool. Okay. Yeah.
Cool book.
Yeah.
It's going to be neat.
There's an article on Warhammer Community with some awesome artwork.
It looks like it'll be the size of the chapter approved. Just
Yeah.
weirdly with the way it has.
Yeah.
The Wii books.
Yeah.
I also I maybe we'll get maybe we'll start seeing with this featured Sister of Silence. Maybe we'll see some Sisters of
I
Silence.
could
some
use
Silent
them
Sisters.
getting a little bit
considering
more from
considering the Zone of Silence. That's the region known
That's
as
a
the Pariah
Necron
Nexus.
stuff. The
I know.
Necron
And
thing.
you've got
Yes, 'cause
Sisters
what did
of
Necron
Silence,
say?
Divine Awakening.
Yeah, just air blowing through those metal.
He's not the
carapaces.
noisy king. He's not the
No.
talkative king. He's truculent king. Is that what they call him?
Truculent king.
Silent.
He's brooding king.
Ooh, I bet he would be emo king.
He's been around for a
Finally,
while.
He's been hanging out with the Dark Angels.
for a long
Emo king.
So emo.
Yeah.
Codexes also.
Yes, October.
2 new codexes,
Soon.
and then bam, 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 bam! So many codexes coming out
Yes.
all at once.
Wave
Guard.
2 Death Guard for those of you in the nasty, like
I'm
myself
excited.
and Matt,
For your what kind of guard?
for my death poetry
Thank
guard.
you. We're gonna bring
Yes.
it up every time. 'cause I
Yes,
love
we
it.
will, and I will. You know what's going to happen is there's going to come a time when my crusade list will have to be nasty slam poetry that talks about view bows and
Pustules.
sores,
Pustules.
or as they do in the lore, they talk about weeping wounds.
Ooh.
Oh, anyway, gross. So we've got codexes. We've got wave 1 and 2 announced.
Well, and then they're gonna do there's so the Death Guard, and you just ignored the others.
Yeah, I know,
Who
'cause I-
who cares
Blood
about
Angels,
those?
Space Wolves, and Death Watch.
And Dark Angels are getting a supplement.
Dark Angels are getting it in January.
January,
Yeah.
It's in January.
probably.
They
Sure.
said Well, okay, right. It's 2020.
Well, all right.
Everything's alive
Yeah.
this year, but
They said January, but they said and then early in the article. So who knows?
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
January
then
is
After 9 months of March.
and should we talk about? They said also the first Xenos Codex for the new year will also be in January with the Dark Angels. Who could it be?
I'm thinking either
Necrons are first Xenos.
No, in the new year. The new first Xenos Codex is the
Dark
new
Eldar
year.
or Orcs.
I would love it to be Dark Eldar because I want my Vect,
Sorry,
Do
Drukari.
the Drew Carey.
the Drew Carey, and their Asdrubal Vect.
Are they going to be so? Do you think it's going to be Craft World Start and Drukari, or is it going to be a Yanari Codex because of Psychic Awakening?
You're just an Eldari Codex.
Yeah,
Could be.
yeah, because
Put
of
them all in one.
yes, because of
Just like
Psychic
Space
yeah,
Marines.
yeah, because there's a lot of yeah because
You're
of
onto
that,
something there.
and we'll talk a little
He
bit
is
about
onto
Psychic
something there.
Awakening, but because of the Phoenix
That makes a lot of
rises,
sense.
That's
I
fine.
vote it's true.
there's a lot of the Eldari get decimated.
You heard it here first. It's guaranteed true.
Wild speculation.
Wild, guaranteed true speculation.
It can't be
That
true.
it's just
We're
gonna be
not.
an Eldari
It can't be
book.
true because we're not pissed off enough.
That's true.
I can
You
get
know,
true.
we're not. We haven't started on the fact that it's cash grab,
Sweet.
dice fest.
Dice Fest cash grab.
Run to the center and just spend your money. Like, yeah.
Is that how you win?
Yes.
Apparently.
I don't know. It's never worked for me.
Yeah. If you're a Bell of Lost Souls user. Yeah.
Ooh.
Sorry.
Throwing some Bell of Lost
I know.
shade.
I can't.
That,
I don't
that,
want to waste my drink.
that little bit was spiky.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ah.
Oh. I didn't want to wine sear on things, but and then in other Warhammer related releases, new stuff for Beastgrave. Is this a real pack or is this
It's a wee baby supplement.
okay? I didn't know if
It's
it was a
another game
digital. Okay.
Nope, it's a real thing. It's a
So
physical item.
Warhammer Beastgrave Arena Mortis cards are coming if you're a Underworlds player, and then
Importantly,
yes, more elves.
Pokey Elves.
Pokey Elves
That's
and
the gesture for elves.
Pokey Elves and Mountain Goats.
Mountain Goats.
Yeah.
And Mountain Elves.
Yes.
Mountain
Same.
Elves. I'm actually excited to see how the band translates into miniature.
Yes, how the Mountain Goats are
Okay.
represented. I never would have thought to
Do you
see
think
elves
he's
with
going to have a
shows.
piano with him
Yeah.
on the battlefield? that he'll
Maybe
be
some
playing?
sort of hipster acoustic guitar.
Ooh, I like it.
acoustic guitar?
An auto part.
Ooh,
Yeah.
I would play that. So,
Yeah, but we're getting
no children.
but we're getting the big king of the mountain, the goat
Yeah.
dude, and then there's some troops with big horns.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And some horsey boys.
and some horsey boys. Yes.
Dawn Riders, I
Yes.
believe they are.
Speaking
Yeah.
of big boys, what are the gargantuan
The
stuff?
Gargant's coming out.
Argants, that's another bit of wild speculation we
Yeah.
can engage in because
Soon.
they're just sitting there. Ooh, soon.
Yes.
Maybe. My theory, after the codexes and all that stuff, they're going to need some hot releases to calm down after all the 40K stuff comes out.
Sure.
So I'm going to say
Sure.
November, and it's true. You heard it here first. It's
Yeah.
100%
Well,
wild speculation.
what will be fun that we can hopefully do soon on one of these is we'll talk Christmas bundles.
Bindles? Christmas bindles?
Christmas bindles
I love
are
Christmas bindles.
That's my favorite time of the year.
that is fun. That's fun to talk about. And also,
See if Santa can fit it.
in again, Warhammer related, what we are going to see soon is that Sisters of Battle VR game. That looks really cool. If you haven't seen it, if you haven't seen the advertisements, it's VR enabled. No, it's just you can't. not play it.
Yeah, I think
VR, yeah,
It's only
on-
VR. Yeah, you're playing Sisters of Battle and you're getting in there and chopping stuff and burning
gonna
stuff.
melt us something's face.
Yeah, and
clean
I
off.
wonder what your
So many
your overcharge. How many if you can roll ones in VR? I wonder how many
Like
overcharges
you're dead,
you
you
get.
dumb son of a bitch.
Yeah.
They don't
Yeah,
use plasma.
the preview showed her she was firing a plasma
Yeah.
pistol.
Yeah, that
I guess so.
Canada's.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can.
She was firing a plasma pistol at
Okay.
somebody. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay. What happens if it overheats? Do you just like start like? I don't
It's an
know.
arm.
Your VR headset just fuses itself to
To your face. Yes.
And yeah,
That's some.
I think you have to
yeah.
sign a waiver
when
when
you
download
come,
the
you
game.
become. Yeah, it's like you wanted the Grimdark. We're gonna give it to you. You're fine.
And then they make you a serve card.
Yes.
All
Okay,
right.
okay, so that's.
Is that all our news and our rumors?
Yeah, I mean that's something we probably could have made notes on, but why?
No, we don't do that. We just talk about stuff.
Yeah.
We have notes on some things. I have such notes.
What's up?
No, I don't think we got anything else for rumors. I mean,
Right.
nothing
Let's
substantiated.
talk. Wait, hang on. Let's start a rumor.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um,
New.
The Tower gonna get a new alien race as an auxiliary.
No, ready? I hear
No.
that January is when the Spots Army's coming up.
That's too low hanging fruit.
Sorry, okay, sorry.
Low hanging fruit.
Sorry.
They
We'll come
are
up with better
the Xenos
things.
army.
They are an abhuman army.
They're going to
sanctioned
incorporate
abhuman.
after with the lore, the way the lore works. They're going to incorporate Lizardmen into 40K.
Mm.
You know, after the thousands
They're
of
bringing the
saw them.
Swan back.
They're going to bring the
The
Slot.
old
Yes.
ones. Yes.
Yes.
Sweet, sweet old one. You heard it here first.
Yeah, and here's-
100% true.
Granted, this is one of those I think would be cool. Maybe we'll have like a strong, bolstered force, like an Augur army.
See, more
I could
Augurs.
those Necromunda Augrins. Man.
Yeah,
They're
we're
trying
gonna
to- they're
40K
speaking
rules
to
for
me.
those
They're
boys.
speaking to me.
I really have resisted.
I
and
feel real bad for
I'm
the one
impressed.
that has the stop.
Well, you know,
I kind of feel bad for him.
I'm sorry.
He doesn't like the dark.
yeah, I guess. You know
So
what?
it's
It's
hard
not.
enough.
Necromunda has no OSHA, all right? So
It's
gonna
hard
happen
enough
sometimes.
to have to go in dark places with two arms. If you're an Augur.
Hey, he can't hold his flashlight in
Yeah, I
one
know.
arm anymore. He's
I know.
missing it.
He could probably have fixed something.
It was probably a plasma flashlight, and he turned it on too hard.
Yeah.
Sure.
I mean,
Sure.
it's magnetic stuff though, so yeah, you can
Yeah,
do
you
that
can
whenever you
tap
want
it
to.
This is your Augur brain. This is your Augur brain on those sticks, and you just lose an arm. That's just a thing that happens. Yeah.
Obscure.
All right.
sir.
So we made up a rumor.
We made up a
We
All right,
made up
I
a
think that's
rumor.
all the news.
Yes,
and
we're
rumors.
gonna have an
We're done with
Augur
the rumors?
squad army in January with Lizardmen as HQs.
No, because hold on.
That's a little-
Hold on. Back in fantasy era, ogres and halflings were like this.
Yeah,
they were
that's
like
true.
it was argued that they were created at the same time by the old ones. So ogre and squats.
Oh.
I think that's obviously true.
Yeah.
now. So
I,
because
I can see it.
if I think of anything that they're doing is they're reaching hard back into old world
Sure.
fluff at this point.
Well, if they're gonna reach back
I'd buy it.
with the way things are,
they're on square basis.
Yeah, the way things are over in Age of Sigmar is with the ogres are now really looking at Gork and Mork and going, hey, I like what they're having to say. Maybe we'll get Ogren with some greenskins in 40K. There's a
World
rumor.
destruction, right?
That's what I heard. I read that on the internet.
Mm.
So
The internet.
All right.
yeah, I read that on 40K Reddit Truth.
.com.
.reddit.read.
Dot 100% true.
Yes. All right. So
News and rumors done.
yeah, with some news.
Move it. Is it down here? Is this where you can see the thing? Because it's scoot it
It's up there.
away.
It's up
Is
there.
it up here? Where is it?
We got.
I don't know where it is.
No,
Down.
this is it.
Is this
This
closer?
We're not going
Down.
on YouTube. You gotta say,
Down.
smash that subscribe
Down.
button if you're on YouTube.
Down. How low is this? Down here. All right. Swoop. Oh, did it happen?
Watch out, 40 kit.
Okay, close enough. We're learning the technology.
Look,
Also, I'm not really
Can
following.
we make
through with the
graphics where
technology.
40 kit eats the banner?
I'm still.
Yes.
I
Alright,
really
get on
feel
it,
like it's
Madeline.
an penis.
We need that.
Ooh, that penis.
It's the 40 kit.
40 kit.
40 kit. The K stands for kit.
Yeah, we really don't know what's happening next.
We don't.
We're- yeah,
It still says up next
yeah.
news and rumors, and I don't even know how to
We made
deal
up-
with this.
I can make up a new rumor. Hang on.
We can make up some new news.
Katachan army.
That'd be alright.
Go
Alright.
Red Hearts.
But I want it. No,
Go on.
I want them to recast all those original Katachan models and we'll release the old
No.
battle bots. I want a Jesse the Body Ventura 40K army
Yes.
again.
Oh my God! Up next,
All
how
right.
do?
Yes.
Oh, that's it. And it was on my next.
Yes.
Up next, how do I hobby?
Well, it's now.
Up now.
Yeah, because
That
here's
was
the deal.
hobby.
Now that
Up
we're
right now.
yeah, now that we're well, first of all,
Everyone involved in this production is
Yeah.
intoxicated.
First of all,
that's
what
what
big-
like to remind people.
let's talk. What have we hobby?
What do we
What have we
hobby?
painted?
Oh, so well, go. You,
Since when?
Somebody got some things.
Since
Since the last time we talked to you.
since the last time you
Not the last time I talked to
Since
you,
the
but like
last-
we're saying that in the grander.
since the last time
Show
since the last
sense.
time you were conscious and cogent on Twitch.
Yes. Yes.
So I've got.
Cool. You're not talking about his other. That's OnlyFans. That's his thing. That's the other practice. It's good money. No
I
judgment.
got bills.
I'm not not gonna yucky your yummy.
The bearded
Yuck
king
my
got
yum.
OnlyFans.
3 Legard veterans, 3 outriders, 10 assault intercessors, an ancient, a lieutenant,
I
5
feel like an asshole, but okay, keep going.
5 infiltrators, 5 inceptors, an Invictor war suit,
Is this your Ultramarine?
and a the repulsor executioner.
Wow.
Nice.
Not fucking. Well, I don't have anything dickish to say because he's just doing a bunch of hobbies.
I've tried to get my backlog complete by the time that all the new stuff drops in sometime in October.
Yes, and then you're
Just
gonna
make
be
sure-
ruined.
Just make sure that your backlog, you don't have any like you want the backlog to finish right as you pick up new stuff. So you don't die.
Right. Well,
Yeah, if you run out of stuff, you
I
die.
mean, for the Marines or for everything else.
Okay, you're safe. Yeah, I forgot.
I got a week of vacation in October sometime too, just to sit down and knock out the new stuff.
Because I can't stay on any project. So I was working on Sisters and it was great, and I painted some Sisters and it was cool. And then I decided I really wanted to make my Crusade Force the Bastard Sons of Belisarius Call, because I was doing a lot of research for Belisarius Call to talk about this today. So it's all Primaris Marines that are totally not Alpha Legion. Don't worry about it. They are 100% Raven Guard. But they're going to be all snipers and things that kill characters, and it's going to be a terrible list, and I'm really excited
Did
about
you
it.
finish the Golden Boys?
The Golden Boys are done.
All of
I
them?
have 2,000
like-
points of
it's
Golden
like
Boys.
All 15 models?
Shut up, it's 24 or something. And to be fair, you painted the,
Vindicare?
thank you.
Oh, there it is.
He's not gold.
No, he's not gold.
Why not?
It's a good point.
He
Could have
is-
been
He
gold.
was an experiment in contrast paints.
I thought
He
he was
actually
gonna.
looks real good. I should have brought him in. Oh, that would have been smart.
Yeah, I want to
Oh,
see
well,
it.
Yeah,
maybe
he's
next time.
contrast paints and washes.
But anyway,
Yeah.
all them are done. So now, sweet Primaris Snipper Marines that are going to make all your characters go away, and then they're not going to be able to do anything else. So they're going to
You
lose.
hope. Mine have just performed poorly. Those eliminators.
No, I got eliminators. I got a
And then-
captain with a fancy pew gun.
If they
I
don't
got
make them core
Raven Guard
and they
Marine.
lose any reroll support, that would be
That would make you the
hysterical.
saddest. Okay,
Yeah, so
I
I
don't even know what's happening
Uh,
on the screen here. What are you working on,
well,
Robert?
I know I hit a bit of the actually no, we're not gonna say I hit the doldrums. I hit school year started at home.
Sucker!
So yeah, actually I've mostly kind of been spending some time on my Saga Force. So I took a little break because man, Orc boys aren't fun. I want to pick the cars.
Hers.
How many orc boys do you have?
Just one squad for Crusade Force.
Of 30?
No, just 10 in the truck for
Oh.
my low level Crusade thing.
Okay.
So and then I assembled my Blight Lord Terminators from Death Guard, and those guys will get some love soon. We're doing the metal undercoats and contrasting stuff over them to make them look all worn out. So it's been a little bit weird. However, because I know about some Crusade things, the how do you hobby, the other thing is let's talk about playing games in this 9-month march that we've been living in
Oh.
of all the COVIDs. And I know, I mean, my how do I hobby during COVID is I paint stuff and I don't play the games because I just haven't had a chance. But I know you've played and I know you've played.
I've played.
So
I've got 5 or 6 games in the 9th
Yeah.
so far, all Crusade, because
yeah.
I don't know.
Why
I,
not?
Are you playing Masked, Unmasked?
discretion
Spread out.
of the players, but
Yeah.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
the room's big enough, we can
Yeah.
be far enough apart, and
Yeah.
you know,
We're playing over at Nick's where he has it out on
You're
the
playing
porch.
outside.
Yeah, it's all outdoors,
You're
which
out.
is
Yeah.
sometimes a little bug bitey, but also delightful when it
Sure.
works out. But then we can stay all far away. And
Out on Forge World Cromknocker.
Forge World Cromknocker, yes.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna have to, dose up on the Claritin and Zyrtec.
Ah,
Oh.
well, you got 5 whole models done before getting right.
Before back into the historicals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As
I understand. I mean, yeah. You could just say no more, but there's money involved.
I will
So-
tell you, my secret trick for avoiding that is I'm sort of shitty at painting, so no one asks me to paint their stuff.
Yeah. There you go.
You don't have to get stuck doing commissions
Well,
if
we
you're
got
real
to.
bad at painting.
Yeah.
Mean face.
I mean, I also like the Walter School of, hey, I was looking for some painting advice. Walter goes, ha 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 ha.
I have absorbed a considerable
Yeah.
amount of painting and
You've got
advice
contrast paints
over
now.
my time.
And gold spray paint.
I have a lot of advice that you and
Yeah.
Brian and Phil give people,
Sure.
and I get that down.
Yeah,
and
but
I
any other-
regurgitate that.
You
to
know
other
how
people.
to, just not.
Yeah, I just don't
execute it.
actually do it.
Yeah. But any other tips or thoughts?
Tips or
Tips
not.
or thoughts on because of the way that, because like I know some folks will play some games. It's like a,
Shuffleboard sticks.
it's like yeah, or yeah, or it's
no,
like,
you could be old timey like World War II generals where they're all
With
like
the-
standing there
Yeah.
and they have little things to push them around.
They got movement trays now.
Yeah. Get some of your things and get your cap and jawed purse. It only works if you have
And
jawed
pipes.
yeah.
Well,
and
yes,
pipes and
obviously a fight.
Yeah, but if you jump up around the chat real quick, I mean, do you have anybody out there that's playing games? You know, I mean, we're not looking for Corona rumors and that kind of stuff. It's like, hey, if you're dealing with the way that things are right now, any enlightenment that we could share.
And where do you get your job purse? Where's your job purse?
Judge, yes, because I know some folks.
Played an air hockey table.
Yeah, outdoors is cool. Oh, that's where you put your repulsor.
Yeah, be so good.
You know?
It gets as far as it gets.
I now want to make
It's
a
not the
repulsor
thing.
like a hover tank game to be played on a hover. All right, I'll work on something.
Yeah.
That's fine.
You might have to bump up the air
Volume.
hockey,
Bump up the jams.
sure, or the airflow.
Okay, fine.
So that could be fun.
More power.
So from that, so I guess our next hobby project is tabletop air hockey,
Yes.
40K air hockey. And you're smacking stuff back and
Oh.
Do they still make air hockey tables? Where can I get one?
I mean,
They still
right
make-
there,
I mean,
up
they
by
didn't
the old
go
store.
We-
These galleries.
We're talking about it like it's some sort of ancient. We need to find the air hockey STC that we can bring it back. They were last made in the dark age of technology.
You go try finding
Ooh, Marvel Cars Swirl. Awesome.
Did you throw a dumpster at something? That's my favorite part of that game. And I refuse to do anything else in it
Yes.
except throw terrain at people.
I threw. I was playing Darth back in, and I threw Drax at Star Lord and actually killed Star Lord.
How can you target Drax if he's not moving?
You can't-
He was moving.
But if you do something,
He should have
you-
65. You catch these two guys.
Yeah, nothing's gonna go over his
His
head.
Yeah.
reflexes are too
Thor is no joke in that game.
big.
She target. Well, he's no target. Dragon used to eat chips. Yeah.
God, why isn't Guardians of the Galaxy 3
Painting
yet?
only.
Right.
That's it.
Hey, I understand. I'm there. I mean, and that and wild speculations and list hammering.
Wild
Re-
list hammerings.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Hey, Mirage Rain.
88. Thanks for following.
Yeah. I
That's-
don't.
We're so bad at Twitter. We're like, good.
I'm
for
glad
you.
that that's
You're
how
here.
you're spending your.
I'm waiting for it
Friday.
to just pop up. Stop following us.
Yeah.
Yes, like,
Just like
who
right.
are these
I
guys?
regret every decision I've
This
ever
is
made.
that.
that
This
led
is
me to
that.
this point.
This is that. Wow, because only COVID would be the time when it's like, thanks for spending your Friday night with us talking about.
And you can tell we're tiny enough. It's like, there's another person. Hi.
Who are you?
So
All right,
that our
so
hobby.
That's our hobby. We're gonna
Real
refill.
low on
We're
this.
gonna refill, and then we're gonna have lores and
Listen.
rants and.
Sounds empty.
Sounds very empty. Yeah. Solving problems.
Oh, trying to do it like.
You're aspirate. Don't
But I-
aspirate whiskey.
Yeah. Oh, well,
Oh,
there was a dribble on 40 cat.
One for the homie.
Yeah, one for the 40 cat. took over your second drink.
Take your
I did
time.
because I'm not great, but this is like I said, I
hope I'm
was
alright.
feeling real.
You're gonna be good. We're gonna talk about it, and I'm gonna constantly be like, but. So
Yeah.
I'm the worst. This is my worst section.
Also likes to
So
throw
fuck all you guys.
Who also likes to put a bunch of
Are we
butt.
talking?
Yeah, we're back.
We're talking about things.
Also,
We're back.
Also likes to put butt in 40K.
I like to butt into my 40K.
Yeah. All right, welcome. So
Back.
we
Lore
refilled.
Lowdown.
Walter's double fisted.
Ah.
He's got his tiki drink, and then he's got a.
What is that?
We had to do our cardboard corner promo drink. This is the Suro of the Sea Breeze.
What's in this beverage before I put it in my face?
So there is some. There are some secrets, but there is some grapefruit and some cranberry and some pineapple and some spirit.
Sweet. I was worried about my UTI.
Yeah.
And ice.
Yeah. Yes. This is we encourage people to make sure they are clean and
Proper urological health is very important to us here at
Yes.
Warhammer.
So yes,
That's really good.
So
actually.
it's not a rum drink, but it is a if you're not one of the rum, if you're not a rum
It's
person.
just I'm not obsessively a rum person.
No, I'm just saying in general.
I'm not a rum person.
Oh, that's real good.
Yeah.
And that's sweeter than my drink with a hint of bitterness.
Interesting.
Drink them at the same time.
Because like for myself,
Compare profile.
I actually
for me,
probably
yeah.
should have had. I needed. Why did I bring some water for my palate cleanser?
Yeah. That because you don't need 3 things.
Would you like a local brew?
You can
Not
lick,
palate
how about you
cleanser.
lick 40 cats? Yeah.
And tetanus.
Yes. Illuminator Xeris' cat here. But yes. Yeah.
Alright.
But like
Lore Lowdown.
Laura, let's talk. Oh yeah, Walter, you guys. So we had this idea because there's a wonderful way that the Black Library authors write. I mean, I love it, but
Let's see next.
there are sometimes. I thought this was what we're doing right now.
No,
Figure-
lore lowdown.
Oh,
Lore lowdown.
sorry,
Wherever
never
it is
mind.
here.
Up
Up
next.
next.
I know.
Taker
I
Cannon.
thought Laura Lowdown. I thought.
We're going to talk a little bit about it. Okay,
Yeah.
we're getting after this section, so this is why you
Yeah.
should stick around, because this is my favorite section
Yes.
of the entire show. And it is shamelessly stolen from another from a podcast. We're not a podcast, we're Twitch. But it's shamelessly stolen from a podcast
vodcast.
called 362 Pages We Won't Get Back. Anyway, it's a couple of guys from Mystery Science Theater 3000 reading books that they hate. But they had a section that I thought was brilliant that was faker fan fiction. And so I am going to present a couple pieces of 40K literature to these two, and they will have to guess on whether it is an actual piece of 40K writing, like something that was actually produced by Black Library, or if it was some god-awful piece of fan fiction that I either picked up off the internet
Okay.
or wrote myself.
When we get there, I have a question on the rules of
Okay,
this
we'll
segment.
get to that.
But
We'll get to
that
that. We'll
should
get to that.
be
But it's
there.
going to be real exciting because I have some juicy sections.
Great.
All right,
But
but
in
now
the
we're going to talk
meantime-
about lore.
Yeah, we're going to talk about. We're basically like the thing. We're talking about how did we get to Indomitus.
Right. How do we get to
So
19?
we're starting with 8th.
Yeah.
We're going to interrupt just absolutely
Constantly.
in the most
Everybody
Matt,
all
way.
the time.
Matt and I. In current edition, I'm going to talk about Papa Belisarius' Call. He's going to talk about Big
And-
Baba G.
And Big Bobby G is the ore shaker of the
Ore shaker,
moving
right.
pages.
Yes.
He's
Call's
the
really
shaker.
more of a mover.
Yeah, and
He
questions,
was shaking things up.
questions, comments, throw them up
Yeah.
in the chat, and we will look
Try
at
and answer
you with a weird expression.
Yes, and then
Really.
Robert is going to talk about the.
We're gonna see how far into Psychic Awakening we can get.
We're going to
He
do
got the
part
most
one
fun
of
up in
Psychic
Oh.
Awakening.
Yeah,
Part one
We're
of.
going to talk about that. We're going to do some
How
deep,
many?
deep lore dives.
Psychic Awakening was that. I really liked that one book, and I like that other book too. Oh, and then there's those 6 other books I
Yeah,
forgot that I
lots
had
of
to
books.
cover as well.
So,
Begin.
Granddaddy Belisarius Call is the coolest Mechanicum boy that is out there. I think it goes without saying. He is
Yeah.
the oldest and the fanciest. I don't know if you've seen his model. It is enormous because he has been altering himself for 10,000 years. 10,000 years old, Call is. He starts showing up with horse heresy. At least 10,000 years old. And he started off, probably my favorite part about him, he's been replacing all of his parts over the years, always doing anything, and he still has this one weird left arm that's still like his mortal arm. And I don't know if he has.
Is it
some
atrophied like the
strange-
guy from
Oh, it
movie?
looks so gross.
Does he
It's
have
all
does he
gray.
have the model? Does he have the cane?
He's got the sweet cane,
Okay,
yeah, and he has
okay.
this
Yeah,
sweet
yeah.
human cane
Yeah.
arm that he refuses to give up because apparently the Omnissiah can provide modification for everything, but not for sweet pimp.
He has to. He has to.
That
use it-
only the human
He has
form
to use
can
it to
do.
point
Well,
at the grand.
That's his connection to where he came from.
Bingo. Here it is. So he still has
That's
that, which is
the frailty of.
If he needs to social
party bell.
nice. If he needs to do any social distance gaming, he
Exactly.
has his cane
He's got his cane. He can
to push his constructs
little
around.
models.
Oh, the air
There
hockey
you go.
guys.
He also collects personalities like Pokemon, and that is delightful. There's a whole series of stories where he like absorbs other people's minds, and he keeps the ones that are cooperative, and he dishes the ones that aren't. But he's got like he refers to himself as like a conductor, where it's like he's got the Call Prime like personality, and then he's divided himself up into all these other segments of his personality. And once that he's like acquired, like one of his old mentors tried to take him over, and he's like, nah, I got your mind.
Well,
And so he has all
so,
these
so
different-
who do you get a hold of at Black Library to do a Belisarius called Trays in the Infinite?
Oh my god, I remember
Yeah.
that.
They're trying.
I can't stand up
Yeah,
at
the
this
two
table right
grand
now
collection.
as a result of that.
The two.
All right. He is definitely
Yeah.
rapidly joining the school of the Thiefy Boys
Yeah.
with Trays in the Infinite and the
You
Blood
mean
Ravens.
the collectors, the archivists,
They're totally not
the
stealing
grim,
everything that's
the
not.
grim
Yeah.
darkivists.
The reappropriators. is what I
Right,
call them.
reappropriate is a valuable thing.
It's
So,
cultural appropriation.
Paul started off 10,000 or so years ago as a wee baby clone. He was one of many in a vat, and as they dumped him out, and all of his other and it's because it's the Mechanicum, so they just like dump all these 10-year-olds out, and they're just 10-year-old done, and they all have like a little bit of information. They have their like stuff that's been implanted in their brain and whatnot. And all the rest of them are all, oh, we're new babies and don't understand what's going on. And calls immediately like, hey, what's that do? Hey, what's going on here? Hey, I have questions. And like the guy that's like running the weird vat baby creche.
So he
is
started.
the one
He
by-
started as a human.
Yeah, I mean he was
Human.
a Mechanicum
Yeah. Okay.
baby vat
But
baby.
he wasn't like a
That's the thing.
thrall.
No, I mean, well, that's the thing. It's like when originally, apparently, at this place, they dump out these babies and they question them, and they're like, you get to go through 3 doors, and like one's like, nah, servitor, and like one's like, nah, you get to be kind of a cool guy, and then there's the middle door that's special door. And he got to go through that because he was immediately like annoying the shit out of everyone with his questions and whatnot, because he's a cool dude. And then he went through the Horus Heresy, and he upgraded his own brain to show you how he do. Like, there's a whole section in one of them where he like takes out his like memory cortex and he's working on it even while it's still attached to his head because he can't be unconscious to do it. And it's like, well,
Yeah.
I'm either gonna upgrade my processing power by like 200%, or I'm gonna put myself into a coma, and it's gonna be great. Is Indomitus. Indomitus is 100% just a cool name
Yeah.
because we could spend an entire time talking about the fact that 40K is obsessed with fake Latin.
Everything has well, and everything has a code word. Everything has a code name. So this is Crusade Indomitus.
Right. The Indomitus Crusade. But
yeah.
really, they just love to
Make fake Latin.
fake Latin.
Yeah,
Faux Latin
that's-
is the way. And as when I was a wee babe, when I was a wee 10-year-old bat clone, and I grew up going to Catholic school and whatnot, so I'm here for it. More crazy fake Latin terms
Yeah.
for everything. Wow. Call, wee baby call. I was talking about. We're gonna
Middle
go
door,
green.
he annoyed people.
He did all those things.
Did
Yeah.
he get has call because there's a handful of novels in the Horus Heresy you haven't read yet. Did he get written into any of those, or is
Yeah, no,
Yes.
that's what I'm saying. He's like working on his own
Yeah.
because he's like hiding like the planet that he's on originally.
Okay.
Goes over to Horus, and he's all like, "Ha ha!"
So I think Vengeful
No,
Spirit
pass.
from like Vengeful Spirit, I started getting real.
Yeah,
I
no,
don't
he did a
know
bunch.
what
Like the
they're
Space
called.
Wolves. It was when the Space Wolves went to go put the
Uh,
tank on.
yeah.
on Horus.
It's not fourth thing, but yeah. I know
Okay.
what you're talking
Yeah,
about.
he
I
wanted
can't
to
remember.
But anyway, he's doing all these cool
I'll-
things during
I'll-
the Horus Heresy. He
I'll
worked
find
at
some
one
things.
point. He supposedly may have worked with the Emperor on Space Marines before anything went on, but then it's more going on that he's doing his thing. Yeah, right. When is he going to do that? Not soon enough.
There
I
was-
want to do cool things.
He's the lion.
The lo-
This
the
will be
lion-
another time. This will be when we go right before Dark Imperium.
Yeah,
Lion's awake.
got it.
We know he's
Well,
awake.
he's doing things.
I mean, they did not finish out that story series well, but the lion's awake and Luther disappeared.
Yes, and we'll see. So he might not
The
be
lion's
doing
just
it,
kind
but he's doing
of
his
like
own thing.
doing his stretches in his room.
Maybe-
He's gonna
maybe-
sleep for a long
Maybe
time. He's gonna
Luther disappeared
Pause.
and went and reunited with the Second Legion.
No. Right. That's,
Sorry,
that's
long
for random
speculation.
long speculation.
Sorry. Anyway,
Anyway,
continue.
he's the
Rough
Horus
and
Heresy.
first.
He does some stuff. 10,000 years go by that they haven't filled out like at all. And in this time, he built all the things, and apparently has had his memory erased at least 2 times. But he does what he can. But then, anyway, so Belisarius Call, and at some point, Bobby G, which we'll talk about a little later, he entrusted him to have two things, and one was eventually to bring Bobby G back to life, because basically...
He just saw it coming. It's like,
Bobby G put in a giant order for sweet Primaris Marines, and he was all like, I'm going to make all these cool Primaris Marines, and then Bobby G got all Fulgrim shanked, which I'm sure you'll talk about.
And since he wasn't, there to collect the order, he just kept making them.
Exactly, just kept cranking them out. It's like, the guy, he's just pounding out Primaris Marines as he's going. 10,000 years go by, he's making Primaris Marines, he's making bolt rifles, he's making
repulsors,
every million vehicles, more toys.
And every new Space Marine thing.
One of the coolest things I learned in preparation for this, the Primaris Marine Order is the Rubicon Primaris.
The Rubicon. Speaking of sweet fake
land, it just sounds cool.
Rubicon.
He initiates the Rubicon Primaris
because he got this cool thing from the thing that the Emperor used to make the Primarchs. Bobby G gave over to him, and it's like, here's all the cool every data on the Primarch project.
Where did he get that?
And he got it from the
Sons of Selenar.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're going to talk later about all the crazy geneticists, but that's for him.
And he did, and he also didn't have to deal with Magnus and all of that. Not a big deal that he did. So
all the nothing wrong that Magnus did.
Everything wrong that Magnus did.
Anyway, fast forward 10,000 years, he's been making all this stuff. He's working hard. He's getting stuff done. And then he starts looking around, and he's noticed that Abaddon, we're going to have a little side about Abaddon the Destroyer. Defiler?
The Spoiler.
The Spoiler. The something.
The Spear.
The D word. Abaddon the D word.
Abaddon
Abaddon the D.
Abaddon with a big D.
And whatever you want.
Abaddon with the T and the D.
With the T and the D. We like it. So anyway, Abaddon is doing his 12 Black Crusades, and everyone's like, Abaddon sucks. He's failed 12 times. And Belisarius Call is all like, Minuten bitte. I think something weird's going on.
I see a pattern.
And he notices that all of these planets and all these things that Abaddon's doing is he's been wrecking Necron Blackrock, whatever it's called. Necron Coal. Necron...
Pylons?
Pylons, what are they made of? Blackstone! Right, that's a good name.
Blackstone.
They're made of sweet Blackstone.
I had a little...
So I took a sip, so you
yeah.
Not funny.
So yeah, I was looking up some Belisarius Call stuff, and I never even thought... Because he's Unification Wars.
Oh yeah, he's in the way back.
Yes, and but I did enjoy, speaking of some of the I think whimsical 40K things
before
but yes, Ezekiel Seldane. I mean, that's an RPG.
Yeah, that's the guy who's brain.
But yes, his when he trained under Magos Domina Hester Asperisha Sigma. Yeah,
I love all of these. Yeah, they do things. Anyway, he's like, Abaddon's messing up pylons. I gotta step in and do something about this because it ain't no good. And he realizes Cadia has pylons.
Yeah.
That's probably the last pylons that are there because he's like, these pylons seem to mess up warpy times. I should go do something. Oh my God! 13th Black Crusade happens, and Abaddon comes in.
There.
He was right there, yes. And Abaddon comes in with all of every Chaos Marine, and he's got demons, and he's got cultists, and he's got
traitors.
Yeah, and he's got traitors, and he's probably got pointy sticks and rocks and other dangerous.
Apparently, he also oversaw the construction of Mars's largest micro-mag cannon.
That doesn't even make sense. Nothing about that is
right.
Is it that a small mag cannon? Or
his little bighorn
gun. Does it shoot micro mags?
It shoots little white horse. Little magazines.
Little tiny white horse.
But
at like a appreciable percentage.
It shoots little regimental standards.
Oh.
And the bad guys are like, oh, look how stupid they are. Oh no, I died.
Or they're like, what chaos is weak?
I've been purified by the flame. Okay.
And yes, micro mag cannon, which that's a real dumb phrase. But peak Games Workshop. Let's not lie. Cadia, there, everyone's there. Creed's there, and Abaddon's there, and everyone's wrecking things. And he,
like the band Creed.
The band Creed is there. Woo! I think, I wish you could sing a Creed song.
Higher is about the Emperor. It just sucks.
Yeah,
that's the problem.
There. Nickelback arrives.
Nickelback, they hang out with the word bearers. They're no one really wants them around.
So
this is how you.
No, that is an exercise we should try. Equate shitty bands
with
Legion.
Oh my God!
It's just Legion.
Who's the band? Hold up, we'll get back to it. Who's the band that sings "Crawling in My Skin"?
Linkin Park.
Linkin Park. Or I was gonna say Night Lords, but sure.
Emo.
Who's
Yeah.
that?
All right.
Avenged
These
Sevenfold?
ones, they will.
Avenged Sevenfold is, I don't know, anybody that tries to be cool but isn't. What Legion is that? Space Wolves?
Iron Warriors?
Yeah.
Sorry, John.
Yeah.
So if we do this, which we might need
Okay,
to, we have to have an up and down. We need to have the cool bands because we got to talk about how many legions could have the cure if we wanted to be cool.
No.
Your Raven Guard would be the cure.
Oh, but it could also be. I mean, there's a Night
Well,
Lord
just
draft.
Edward Smith.
Yeah. So anyway, we've got a thing for next week.
All right.
Or 2 weeks from now.
Legion band.
Legion band.
Legion bands. We got homework.
Yeah. I also, I mean, that's just like, you know, because I was sitting around doing that, associating legions with Beatles songs.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Here you go.
Yeah.
Really? Is that what you do when you're just...
I was watching a documentary on the Beatles.
Maxwell Silver Hands.
Maxwell Silverhammer. Well, he's a serial killer. The song's about serial, so it's like, yeah, it could work successfully.
That's darker than I thought it was.
Yeah. No, it is. He's bang
A
bang.
lot of songs are a lot darker than you realize.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
I didn't
no,
know that.
yeah, that's the thing. Yes. Anyway,
Not a huge Beatles. Fair enough.
back to
Okay.
your call.
When you're talking and I'm just staring off into space, it's because I'm obsessively thinking about bands with things, and I might even shop them sometimes.
Sure.
Pylons, but he gets there and then he calls up who you mentioned earlier, our favorite guy, Trazen the Infinite, because Trazen.
My favorite one of my favorite Xenos.
We can have an entire. There'll be a whole lore segment on Mr. Trazen the
We could
Infinite.
just do a lore set on Necron. Dudes.
That's true, which would be appropriate in
Yeah.
October when a book comes out.
Vargard O'Byron Martell.
Well, he's okay. It's Nemesis Vandrak that we really got to
Yeah,
talk about.
and
Vandrak, something Drek.
who is he? Stormlord.
No, he's the crazy guy.
No,
He's the funny one.
Imhotep. Okay.
Imhotep.
He's
Imhotep
fine.
had some gross rules.
He likes to chop off some hands.
Continue.
But he calls up Trazen for some Necron tech support.
Tracy.
Because he's all like, I can't figure out how to work these pylons, and Trazen's like, did you try turning them off and back on again? And Call's like, oh, no problem, got this done. And they start shutting the warp down, and it's awesome. And like the Eye of Terror is shrinking, and they're all that. And they're
Yay, we've won!
yeah, we did it, we won the thing. And that's why 9th edition is all happy and there's no chaos in it anymore. No, it's because Abaddon is like, I have a bunch of Blackstone fortresses.
The Eye of Terror was also growing. It wasn't shrinking. It was pushing out, and that's what they had done.
Right, but he was shrinking it with the Acadian
Yeah,
pylons.
Call was
switch on.
shrinking.
Yeah, he was shooting, he was pyloning them. He was just pyloning them good. And they were shrinking.
Pile on the pylons.
Pile on the
Give him
pylons.
the old good Blackston.
Like, he's just really shoving that Blackspin in there. And then Abaddon was like, well, I've got these Blackstone fortresses, and he crashed one in Acadian.
I was down the hallway with the Blackstone.
That was gross.
Yeah.
But anyway, and Cadia was doing great until Blackstone Fortress hit it. And then, as they say, the guard,
The will of
the planet broke before the guard
Yes.
did.
The will of eternity would be the Blackstone.
Yes, because he stole a bunch of
Fortress.
Blackstone fortresses.
Yes.
It's good. Anyway, he blows up everything, and it all goes to hell. And the Cicatrix Maledictum, that took me a little bit of a running start to be able to say.
It
Longer than I
sounds
could have done.
cool.
Yes, it certainly is.
It's okay that it sounds cool. That can be my rant. It's okay that it sounds
That's
cool.
cool, right? But anyway, it broke up. A whole rift ripped the Imperium in half. Everyone's sad. The world's on fire. But fortunately, to the day came emo space elves, the Inari, they can also have their own lore segment. They're a bunch of elves that are all like, we have this prophecy. The space elves do, the elves, the Eldari.
It's super goth emo.
It's so great. I love everything about it because it's dumb.
Yeah, we'll get there. We're all gonna die.
Yeah.
So we get better.
They're like, we literally
That's how
murder
they
every
transcend.
Eldar. Anyway,
No,
they're all
it's-
like, we're gonna kill everyone.
Well,
When the last corporate craft world breaks, we will rise.
And all the Eldar are getting into their bathtubs. It's very sad.
Crap roll
Very dark.
Starbucks just goes down.
Oh, wow.
Hey, you know, it's how they do. All right. Dark. They like get their soul stones. That's how they make themselves feel.
I'm so much cooler than an infinity circuit.
Yes.
Yeah.
So anyway, emo space elves show up. We can talk about them.
I
later
love
on.
space elves.
I like space elves too. Emo space elves.
Elves in space.
And they show up and they help call out, and Call's all, they rescue him, and they're like, hey, I hear you got this artifact that contains the big Bobby G, and he'll talk about that. Why don't you talk about Bobby G for a while? After you talk about it, we're going to circle back to what Call's doing right now.
Probably Celestine was there too.
Celestine was there, and
Oh,
actually
okay.
that was a problem because he started shutting down the warp, and Celestine's all like, I actually used the warp! These are her wings. So she flies.
Yeah, that's it.
And she's all like, I used the warp, this bums me out a little bit.
Oh.
And the Legion of the Damned are there, and they're all like, oh, we used the warp too, the sun!
Damn it.
Would you say any dreadnoughts would fall in?
Yeah, shit, that's what they are. These are claws.
Yeah.
These are Furiosa Dreadnought, Furiosa. Furioso Dreadnought.
Almost knocked over your beverage.
Oh my god.
You wanna move it?
Well, at least you had a backup.
I do. Alright, talk about Bobby G for
Yeah.
a little while.
Bring in
So,
And
Bobby
then we're
G's-
gonna wrap back around.
Cole
Bobby
meets up with
G's
the Eldari, and the Eldari go, hey, we can help you with resurrecting that one guy that asked you to do it, 8,000 years ago.
Or show. How did Bobby
Ish.
G end up? Oh, I made this one real strange.
So let's go back to M32-ish. Guilliman, Gulliman, whatever you want to call him. Bobby G.
I'm sorry, I almost just murdered. We're gonna have to take over this.
I felt my
section.
save. I give Walter humor. Oh God.
It wasn't humor. It was just a fact. It was 100% true. Sorry, Matt. Sorry, Matt.
You're fine.
Damn.
Your effects are humorous.
Oh, right. I'm not supposed to hit that.
So,
Damn it.
Bobby G is chasing down the Emperor's children and finds the fulcrum, or the fulcrum of the Legion.
Ah,
And
I see what you did there.
Thank you. And decides to take the battle directly to him. Things go.
I can't see anything going wrong with that.
Things go sideways. Fulgrim slices him in the neck with one of them poisoned slashy daggers, and Ultramarines put him in stasis, and there he was for 8,000 years, just slowly healing. Maybe they always hinted at it, like whether or not
And it was
he was in
right there. It was
stasis,
just
just
like
healing.
just.
And so he was kept in Magridge on the Tower of something or other, if I could remember, if I was not drinking.
The Tower of Fancy Sleepy Boy.
Tower of Remembrance.
I will
maybe
let you know here. I'll get on the wiki.
something Remembrance, maybe. Just okay.
Take Gilliman.
And that's where a lot of pilgrims would go to see one of the Primarchs. So, 13 Black Crusade happens. Cadia breaks. The Guard break as well because let's face it, they're Guard and they're worthless.
Hey. They didn't break until after Katie did. Granted, they're probably a billion.
They're still broken.
The God!
Hey.
The planet broke before the God did!
Slightly.
And hey, those Catachan Jungle Fighters are awesome.
Yes, they are. I'll give you that. I got River Jackson coming. I'm excited.
Okay.
Sorry. So, 13 Black Crusades happening. The Black Legion lay siege to Magridge, and Call and the Eldar show up through various means of webways and things of that nature. And during this big battle in the Hall of whatever Robert finds the name of, I hope it's soon.
Sleep Fancy Boy.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure that's the official name in the game.
Yes, it is.
Oh,
Sleepy
jeez.
Fancy
I'm
Boy.
like, wait. Sorry. I'm in the heresy.
Control
We're
F.
not even close.
I was like, wow, that's really great. I love that heresy lore.
So while the fight's going on, the Eldar and Call are working on at the stasis field, and Call is opening up this big thing which contains the Armor of Fate, which is the thing that powers and gives life to Guilliman, or Gilliman, or Bobby G.
Bobby G.
How is it pronounced? If anybody wants to let me know how it's pronounced, just
hang
throw
on.
it in chat.
You would have
Rowboat Girly Man.
here. Rabute Gilliman.
Gilliman. Okay. Gilliman. Okay.
Yes. But they're all English from the last.
Yes.
On the Craig. You're now.
So
So.
during the battle between the Black Legion and the Ultramarines, they wake him up. Put him in the he's in the Armor of Fate, and he wakes up, and within a nanosecond decides, oh yes, battle, and he just goes to it against the rest of the Black Legion and they waste everything before him. I mean, it's a bloodbath.
Can I have a little aside for my favorite dumb lore bits that came out of this fight?
Yes.
So Trazen's there because Trazen's cool.
Well, sure.
Cool dude
Listen,
hanging out and doing his thing. And he has, because Trazen collects everything, he unleashes from one of his Trazen Pokeballs a unit of Heresy era Space Marines.
That was the coolest part.
And it was there, and they just all pop out, and they're all just like, we don't know where the fuck we are.
But
we don't
they're
know what's
Ultramarines.
going on. Yeah, they're Ultramarines.
Yeah.
And they're all like, that's our guy. And those guys have a bunch of weird spikes and shit on their armor.
Yeah.
So I guess we shoot them, and we don't know. And it just,
Isn't that also whenever
It's the most
he
amazing
sees,
bit.
he sees that Land Raider coming for Gilliman and he kills the Land Raider? And Gilliman turns around and just sees this little. No? It's in there
Oh, no.
somewhere.
I got nothing.
I like
all I
that.
know
That
is they brought
is-
up a bunch of Heresy era dudes.
that
who
is
were
the other
real
part.
confused.
with where the Eldari do that to the Thousand Sons.
Mm.
And Ahriman's like, oh shit.
Aramon gets sad. He was all like, what?
I want to go find it then. So, Gideon wakes up, lays waste to everything
That's
before
the
him.
saddest time. Oh, we should
Yeah.
talk later on.
Yeah.
Different lore segment when we get to Sad Boy Aramon
Mm.
and Magnus, who did nothing wrong.
Everything wrong.
I feel bad for them.
I could write a thesis on Magnus doing
On
a lot of
Magnus
things wrong.
doing nothing wrong.
So he wakes up, lays waste to everything, and just like, okay, what's going on? Wait, hold on, what year is it? Okay, let's go see my dad about that.
He had so many of those word a day calendars. He just had to tear it down. It was real sad.
Yeah, I mean, it's,
So,
so anyway, he hops on a ship and takes a bunch of folks with him to go to Terra. Not that easy. They are beset by all of the different chaos gods in some way want to get to Ian. Do something to him, turn him, kill him, whatever. He eventually makes it to Terra, has a little audience with his dad.
Aw.
No one knows what's at you. It's pretty sad. He comes out, but he just won't speak about it. So
what's the description that in one of the books they talk about the conversation? And like the Emperor is all like, he talks to him like his favorite tool that he had like misplaced. It's like, oh, this is like my favorite spanner I misplaced.
Yeah.
Oh, and I found you.
Oh, they do that.
This spanner named.
There's a thing in the
Gilliman.
Heresy where Malcador's like, the big mistake they always made was that they thought they were his kids.
Yeah,
Well,
that's right.
And it's like, God, he sucks.
But then there's another book where he does refer to them as his own children. So like you never know, like, is the Emperor a dick or
I mean,
is he
yes,
not?
the Emperor is the dick.
Yeah.
Like no matter what, the Emperor's kind of.
His name is Richard.
I don't know. I'm just saying.
Richard Emperor.
No, we know his name.
No,
No, we don't.
people need to be reading Caesar Terror. We can't talk about that right
Whatever. It's
now. We
in
need
there.
to give that some time.
Oh,
Okay, fine.
But you need to, yes.
Oh, have you read Druid Pariah, the Eisenhorn book?
No,
I did read Variety Eyes.
I
Do
need
you
to work
remember
on.
what Eisenhorn's doing?
I have a.
I do
I have
remember.
a
God, I haven't
horrible.
read that book in a long time.
I have a
Well,
horrible
the new one's coming out
problem.
soon. We need you.
What?
Soon-ish.
News and rumors.
What?
News and rumors, folks.
Why did no one tell me this?
They did on the War Community site months ago.
Ah!
Dan Amnet has finished book 2 of the Price series, and it
Oh
should
my
be
God,
out
that's my
within the future.
favorite thing.
I have
Yeah.
a real pretentious problem with
it was a
books
good
written in
day.
first person that bothers me.
Really? Dude, come
I
on.
know.
Wow.
I'm just trying to be
Wow.
honest
Come
because
on,
I
man.
know someone. I assume.
I'm Robert, out of my
That old
first
pop,
person.
full face in the war stuff, like Ed McBain. And,
Secretly, Robert only likes choose your own adventure books that are in the second person.
Sure.
That's the only kind he likes.
That's fine. You can do that. Choose your own adventure 40K.
I'd read it.
Yeah.
I'd read it in our.
Yeah.
Sorry, they have to be called
Yeah.
multiple path adventures because choose your own adventure is actually copyrighted.
is it really?
It is.
Lobby gosh, dude.
It is. Here's an aside that has nothing to do with any of it. But the guy who wrote Saturday Morning Breakfast cereal has done a whole series. So many things, Nicholas. It's not even. I can't even summarize at this point because right now
So-
we're talking about choose your own adventure books because that has so much to do with 40K.
But there's going to be a squat ogre army coming up soon.
Squad Ogre Army. Yeah, you got to
Yeah.
remember that.
There
That's
you
what we covered. That was real good. Anyway,
Temple
we made up
Collection.
a bunch of cool multiple path adventure books, including one about Hamlet,
So,
where you get to play Hamlet, except it's a choose your own adventure book. So you get to decide if you want to be Hamlet or Ophelia or Hamlet's dad. But if you're Hamlet's dad, you just like die in the first section. It's delightful. They're really funny. It's called To Be or Not to Be. as much as
Spoiler
it's
alert.
40K.
all right. So there you go.
Bobby G.
So the Temple of Correction, Bobby G finds himself, kills the Black Legion, makes
The,
it to Terra.
the internet kid come through for you.
Sleepy Boy Tower.
He has the audience with his father, and he's getting ready to come up with something. And Korn attacks Terra.
Not the band.
Who's? I mean, World Eaters. I guess we know that one right off the bat.
That one writes itself.
That one does.
Oh,
right
I
off
like
the
it.
bat.
Slayer.
But it's gotta be. Come
Not
on.
the shitty band
No.
side. On the other side. I mean, I'm not a fan of
It's
Slayer? Did you just call?
No, I said not on the shitty band side because I figured like there are people like Slayer.
Yeah, you're looking
There's
at.
people that like Korn. I mean, what are you saying? There's people that like every band.
I like.
Anyway, for the person that was asking where they were, we are working on at some point what bands would certain legions like.
A shitty
Yeah.
band side and a.
I'm just gonna
Good
say
answer.
bands because I don't want to. I'm not gonna make any value judgments on what bands they like because I like a bunch
We
of
did that
terrible
quite
bands.
a bit when we started that.
Can I talk about? I will say I like so many terrible bands.
Which legion will listen to Hootie the Book?
Which one's Hootie? Which one's the Wolf?
Um,
So,
Space Sharks?
Legion
No.
or chapter?
No, I have a theory. No, we're not doing.
Salamanders, because it's such a friendly song.
Hey,
Oh,
hey.
Oh, that could be.
Salamanders would live there. We'll see.
So Salamander's
So,
gotta be
Korn
burning
attacks
down the house.
Terra. It's the second time Terra has been under major
Salamanders
attack
is now
since the heresy.
What? It's not green.
Oh, I forgot to write my song. You didn't write your Lionel Johnson song, and I'm
Okay,
ashamed of you.
sometime before you're out trying to remember Lionel Johnson's soul song,
Okay.
we'll catch you up. This is Lionel, not
We had a whole thing
Tower
about
of Correction.
Lionel Johnson.
Tower of Correction.
Sleepy Boy Tower.
Word of Terra. Khorne's attacking. Shit's going sideways.
Is it a deep? Honest question, ready? Is it a straight up demonic incursion, or is it
Yes.
world
Demonic incursion.
Okay, cool.
Eight legions of Khorne.
So many bloodthirsters.
Lots of them. Just laying waste to
Okay.
things. There hasn't really been a lot of fiction detailing it. There was some books that kind of alluded to where it's all like the adjacency to it. They mentioned it quite a bit in the new Dawn of Fire book, which is fantastic.
It is
really
real
enjoyed
good.
That's nice to that.
You gotta read it.
Do
I
it.
got it. I need to read. I'm gonna read that crime one first.
Oh,
I'm really
the
digging
crime
that.
ones.
Yeah.
Crime ones real good.
Because I've been reading. I've been expanding. So.
We talked about
So that goes, about as well as you can on Terra. You guys win. Yay.
Thanks, good guys.
So Gideon's now starting to play the Indominus Crusade. Indominus Crusade is kind of where we're at in 9th edition. With the launch of it, you've got all the different fleets leaving, and the Psychic Awakening is kind of happening.
Yeah.
Jason, so we'll get to that. But the other thing that I want to mention alongside of that is the Regent's Shadow book. Kind of after that goes off, the stuff that happens at Terra afterwards with the Minotaurs is pretty cool. I kinda like it. I just wanted to mention those. But,
That's a fun page.
that's
golden red.
as far as Gideon goes. That's in a nutshell, just kind of his timeline where he's been. He is a much
That's
deeper
what we're doing.
character.
Also, like when they brought back Gilman, like you can't take this armor off. And he's like,
Oh yeah, he's just trapped in it. Yeah, they keep talking about he's like at
Yeah.
a standing desk.
Yeah.
He literally has he's totally prepared for home officing.
And
Because
so,
he's got his sweet standing desk because he can't sit down in his armor a lot of the time and he has to be in it all the time.
Well, he would probably crush it.
He can take off his murder.
I think
gauntlets and
what was it?
whatever,
The
that's
second Plague War book, where he's walking around without it. He's like, I just did it to see if I could.
Yeah.
I
He has a
can't.
little butterfly band-aid on.
It kind of hurts,
You
but
just-
yeah, I can do it.
I don't like this so much. Can we talk one thing in the Indominus Crusade? So there's 5 fleets? There's probably more. There's at least 5 fleets.
Is this what you were talking about?
Yes.
Chris Rate, the Regent's
But
Shadow.
One of them,
Fantastic.
but one of these fleets is the Cursed Fleet. This one fleet where
Quintus, I think.
yeah, where everything goes wrong, and I really want to read more about the why.
Because
Because they're just this fleet's been straight up.
well,
everything's
the
terrible,
book
but-
Indominus and the book Indominus dealt with them.
Yeah, but the less I can think about the book Indominus. So
It was
I
a
am-
good tie-in book. It was just okay, let's see what's going on. Let's.
I'm gonna
Was
hold
it-
this space until you
was
stop
it-
talking about it.
I'm
So-
not going to keep talking about
so-
it for the rest of the stream.
so
Just
here's
want
a-
to see how
here's
long you
a-
can hold it.
Here's a comparison question.
Deal with it.
If people are lore hunting, because I didn't read the Indominus book, but I read that Dark Imperium novel with the Dark Death Guard and those whales. What would you recommend?
Same thing.
The Dark Imperium novel. I know, because that's what I read. I was like,
The Dark Imperium
if you
and
like
Indominus,
Death
same
Guard
thing.
and you like Culture
It's okay.
Marines, why
Yeah,
not?
it's okay. But so I am the most giant 40K fiction apologist. I will read any trash that they put out, and
I read
it's
some
awful.
Ciascato stuff.
Speaking of trash,
Oh,
but
I-
the Indominus book was a little nothing. It's just.
I will
it's
say,
fine. It's fine.
one of my favorite
It's
short
not
stories
fine.
to come out of Black Library was written by Ciascato.
I don't believe you, but
Trial of the Mantis Warriors.
Whatever context.
It was about
It's about
they were on trial after the Badab War because they
Okay.
sided with Huron,
Oh, sure.
and so the whole story is the
He
chapter.
He wrote a good book. I don't. I'll have to read it.
It surprised the hell out of me.
C.S. Goto, for those of you who don't know,
It's
writes
not good.
basically
Oh,
fan fiction.
There was that. There was
Although,
a CS:GO novel.
Let me tell you a little
Oh,
story about our
Ciascato
lore
or
fan fiction.
not?
A little
That's
more
a big
fan
one.
fiction. We're gonna have some. It's not Goto.
But
There's no Goto in it.
Trial of the
There's
Mantis
some
Warriors,
discussion.
really good short story.
Oh, there you go. I'll give it a try.
Mantis
It's-
Warriors.
It wasn't I didn't
Do
feel
they have
like
sex with people and cut their heads off with that?
No, they're.
So,
No.
okay. You don't know.
I do. I've read it.
You were, that's not what they're on trial for. They didn't bring it up.
Oh, that was
They were we've actually been already cleared for that.
that was one of the charges right against him. You
Was
could be right.
having sex with people and eating their heads. What the hell were we talking about? Gilman, Roboot.
Yeah.
do
Oh, I
your
just
thing.
had the Mantis Warriors. Moltar. Moltar.
He would be a Mantis
Space
Warrior.
Ghost
Um,
for the Emperor.
getting back to what Call was doing though, now that we're caught in Indominus Crusade.
Let's have a call back to call.
a callback. Ah!
Damn, dude, that was
deserves a
perfect.
thing. That was good.
Yeah.
Have you been drinking enough? No.
I am a parent. It just comes.
The dad jokes are strong. in
When
this
you
one.
learn to change that first diaper, it just goes.
Just the
It's
whole
like, yeah,
time
you get that
comes
real terrible shitty smell, and then you just learn all the jokes.
in. So,
It's like, oh shit, jokes, got it.
so one, Cole has been, making all the Primaris Marines and doing his thing.
For 10,000 years.
For 10,000 years. And more recently, to communicate with what's face, Guillemot. He's been making all these totally, we promise, not AIs, because AIs are, which is one of my favorite little bits of stupid 40k lore, that AI in 40k stands for Abominable Intelligence. Yes!
Well, that's just like
40K.
Space Wolves. You have Psychers. No, we don't. We have Rune Priests.
No,
It's totally different.
AI.
White Scars have Storm Seers.
But we're cool.
We're totally different.
Wow.
We're not talking.
There's no way they're going to get sued. Totally different.
Robert will let us talk shit on the White Scars.
No, we will not talk shit.
But anyway, he's been making a bunch of totally not
also
AIs.
because they're like, who cares? They can go back.
They do what they want.
Yeah.
But he's making all these not AIs and putting them places as backup. He has one in Guillemon's office that he can pop open the thing, and it's a bunch of weird severed heads that talk to me and know everything that Paul's supposed to know. And then my favorite, I've said this is my favorite piece of lore 12 times tonight.
It's
But,
the new
that's-
favorite.
That's
shut up.
nothing.
No, man,
new
no.
favorite.
New.
But this is my actual favorite.
My
piece of
eighth
lore.
favorite.
My eighth favorite. They're all my favorites. I don't have to choose. He has been talking about. Oh, okay, fine. Cat for now. It's the speaking cat. I speak for the. I get to talk about this.
Who speaks
for the speaking cat.
for the lore? The 40 kids.
The 40 kids speaks for the lore. But he's been making all of these. Ooh, it could be like one of those little birds. Just keeps tipping over.
Yeah. But what's your favorite?
Shut up. My favorite. So he's making all the Primaris legions, and he made them from all the Loyalist legions. And then he talks to Guillemot, he's like, "Hey, buddy, Papa G, Big Bobby, have I got a deal for you? I've got all this gene-seeded information about these other 9 legions that you may know about.
Yes.
It's
That
also
are
mentioned
all the traitor ones, and also maybe for these other 2
2 and
legions
11.
that we don't know about. So
Paul just projects a winky face emoji.
yeah, he's like,
just right there on the wall.
and he's all like, I could maybe, make a bunch of Marines out of these guys. And Guillemot's like, fuck no, fuck no,
Yeah.
fuck no.
You son of a
No,
bitch.
yeah.
Why do you have this?
Because
Under any
it's like
circumstances.
those world leaders, they really got the job done. You
And then
want some?
And then so he's like, no, don't do it under any circumstances. And then Cole's like, right, boss, I won't do it. And he's
Sons
like,
of the
no,
Phoenix,
don't
go out.
stop winking at me. And he's
Yeah.
like, no, great, I
Under no
won't do
circumstances.
and I
Yeah.
certainly have not already done it a ton. So don't even worry about it. And there's totally, Sons of the Phoenix you're talking about. There's obviously, he's not even trying.
Yeah.
He's like, here's a bunch of guys in Emperor's Children colors,
here's
and they're
the-
called the Sons of the Phoenix. And I promise they're totally fucking Imperial Fists or whatever the fuck.
The candles on the back are a dead giveaway that they're good guys.
It's obviously not. It's clearly the Emperor's Children. And he's like, no, it's cool, Guillemot. They're fine. Everything's fine.
Just trust me. They'll be that.
Which is why hobby thing that we're talking about working on, I'm making my Crusade Force the bastard sons of Belisarius Chal that are all Chal.
You would say Chal.
I was gonna say Chal. That are all totally Alpha Legion because that would be the best Legion
Also-
for him to make first.
Also on the
Or wait, hold on, it would be the best Legion for him too.
I kind of find
Not me.
I find the Alpha Legion to be really boring.
Shut up.
Oh,
Shut.
oh.
Flipping the table. Alpha Legion is my favorite Legion. We're gonna have a whole lore section on why Alpha Legion kick ass.
You know what?
The problem
Alpha
is-
Legion suck because at the end of every story you can be in with, or did they?
Or that's why they're awesome.
Or
So
are
that's what
they?
do.
So additionally on when Guilliman wakes up, the other fun, well, not fun, it's sad. He wakes up and he goes
It's fun in a
he
40K
goes back to
standard.
Ultramar, and Marty is comes like, my lord, for 10,000, I've fought for you for these 1,000 years. I have led your armies and we have conquered worlds. And Gil's like, cool, stay here. I'm gonna go take care
Yeah.
of
We're
it.
gonna do
And
shit.
poor Marty is coming. He's like,
He-
but I have these awesome gloves.
He was the first to cross the Rubicon Primaris.
Yeah.
True, and he didn't even die in the sweet, sweet water.
Yeah, the
The
Rubicon.
other thing,
I don't think
Rubicon.
anyone's
Right,
crossed
right.
and died yet.
I want
Uh,
again. I guess we talked about this a
There's
little
a
bit
thing
last
in that.
time.
There's a thing. It's like the Rubicon Primaris had like a 60% mortality rate.
Well,
Yeah.
that's-
But again, no
it's
one.
it's in a later book.
Yeah, but no one who has a name is failing.
Yeah, well, okay, that's fair.
No.
But wouldn't that be? We talked about it a little bit last week. Wouldn't it be great if they took Lysander or some important
Dante?
character? Yeah, and just were like, "Burp!"
Caldor Draco?
He dies.
Call of Duty is still stuck in the war.
No. we'll get there.
Oh,
Second point.
all right, sorry.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Sorry about
He's
that.
smart
Whoa,
as
get ahead.
warp dust
Yeah.
to come
Getting
back.
ahead.
Last thing I want to say about
yeah.
Belisarius Call, he's also like, hey Bobby G, can I be the Fabricator General of Mars? And he's like, you will cause a civil war. And he's like, cool, right, but here's my counter proposal: make me the Fabricator General of Mars. And he's like, you will cause. It's like that meme where it's from Friends.
Yeah.
And he's like,
Yeah.
you,
Oh,
and he's
the
like,
French?
I,
Yeah.
and he's like, will cause a civil war. Make me the Fabricator General of
Yeah.
Mars. It's that.
So I'd have my
I'll
wife
make that
explain
meme
that
better.
meme to me because she watches Friends.
I feel that like the format tells you, like you don't need to know Friends.
Well, the significance of the scene, like
Okay,
it's like, what's the significance? I mean, yes, I
On
know
a
Joey's
future
dumb.
episode of Warhammered, we're gonna talk memes.
I like the idea that you're like, I can't get a meme unless I like actually like you. It's like I really need to know what this meme is about. What is?
I want to know the context. You know,
Yes.
give me context.
I mean,
It's such a strange way to
our
approach memes.
existence is one of nerdery.
no, just
No, I love it. I'm
That one in
100%
particular.
on board. Where you're like,
I
I can't really
communicate a lot
emotionally
with
invest into this meme unless I like know where it's coming from.
I'm not too
Oh
proud
yeah,
to
this
say
is like
I
it's
googled
just
it.
Joey and Phoebe.
I
you
think
know?
everyone's
I mean-
on to know your meme.
I mean, everyone that's seen Office Space, how big an urge we had to look money laundering up in the dictionary.
I'm just saying it's funny.
Yeah.
They're like, I can't get it unless I really connect with it in my
I mean,
heart.
I got it, but just give me some context. I want some flavor to it, you know?
I'm on board.
It's
Anyway,
like when I'm playing Magic, I want the flavor text to Fireball.
I vote against Fireball? Does Fireball have flavor text? We're gonna find out about
It
that.
did
Black
Hey.
Lotus.
You would know better. I have not tapped the land in a long time.
I haven't tapped the land since
2002.
98.
When was the last time you tapped the land?
It's a long time. I don't know. Nah, it's been.
I can
it's
tell
not
my,
been as long as
I
that.
can tell my story by Michael's. My playing Magic at Michael's after I sold my box.
Michael?
No, we
So-
cannot. No, this podcast cannot handle peak
Tragic
Robert child sadness.
Tragic tiny Robert stories.
Oh my God, Robert's like my childhood was so happy, and Robert's was so sad.
It wasn't in the best. Robert's attempts at trying to be a gaming nerd were really, really bad.
We're
So-
really sad. They made us
Alright,
weep.
Psycho
Psychic
Awakening.
So yeah,
Awakening.
I don't know if we're gonna get through this. I have.
Psychic Awakening Part 1.
I have
because
my
we
stuff.
have got to get
Okay.
to fan fiction or fake.
How we do it on? How we
Where
doing
we
on
at?
time?
What's our time?
Because I gotta talk about.
Okay.
I gotta talk about sexy.
So I have
things.
things. I have things broken down into books because the psychic. Okay, before 8th edition dropped, there was it was the 40k version of the End Times. I don't remember what they were calling it.
Gathering
The
Storm.
Gathering Storm, and there was cool stuff that
Which
they
we
abandoned.
just very confidently.
Yeah, but there was other because
Yeah.
there was the whole thing with the wolves attacking the rock.
Oh, we didn't talk. Yeah, the space
No,
wolves.
there was
Oh, and the changelings.
yeah, because y'all were at the transition. There was that whole lead up to it.
Yeah,
It was
yeah,
awesome.
you're
and
right.
They kind of abandoned it.
No, I mean,
No,
we're talking about
no,
that.
so-
it's all more than the Dark
okay,
Age space.
I feel
stuff.
like-
we just haven't seen a lot of Dark
I
Age
feel like
space.
what 40k does a lot, and just
Is
Warhammer in
they're a
general.
cash grab and a dice fest.
Dice Fest cash grab.
Yes. Well,
You need the speaking
like
cat.
people
Speak for the lore.
I've heard people complain. It's like, oh, they read it like a comic book, and well, yeah, they leave everything open ended for us to tell stories.
Your
you know,
dudes.
Yeah, they're your dudes.
Yeah.
Okay, here is a setting to do it. You know, it's very comic book. Yes,
Yeah.
you have named characters that don't die.
You know why we?
Actually,
Just happens.
you know what we
this
don't
should have come up in lore and news a little bit. So they're making a Marnius Calgar comic book, and it looks fine. I mean, it's gonna be a comic. It's gonna be a 40k comic book. It's gonna be a lot
want
of.
it.
I'll read it. It's gonna be a lot of Baltimore. But the memes.
Oh, that meme
because
format.
they're all like, because it's him looking at his hands. He's like, I got big fucking hands. They're just a touch.
Is that
What was the,
one of the ones that's coming through the Marvel upstream?
Yes.
So, yeah.
Okay.
And I'm here for it,
Did
and
you
it'll
see the
probably be
one?
fine.
What was your favorite vegetable? Calgar's, potato. The tech priest goes, the emperor.
Oh. That's all we have for tonight, folks. We did this.
I'm not gonna hit the table
just
that way.
Matt King from Failing the Inbold Save to just dropping a bomb.
Drop
right there,
in the
just-
Emperor vegetable.
Oh, wow.
I thought it was.
I could, yeah, you get some command points for that.
Woo.
Yeah, basic. Yeah, there
Yeah.
you go. He rolled a 6+ against command point. Man.
Yeah.
For a sweet
You know why we haven't? You know why?
meme reference.
You know why we
strategy.
haven't had any chat questions?
There's no one
They're
there.
just gone.
That's fine. I'm
I'm
happy.
sorry. So anyway,
The last person was just
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
that's annoying to me.
What I missed?
Nick-
Nothing? Okay,
Yeah.
good. Bye.
Anyway, all right.
That's
So
It's like
Thank
that
you
was
for-
the level of
thank you for fighting this. So, towards the end of 8th edition, so I don't 8th edition. I just kind of backed off. It just wasn't. I just didn't. There were so. I was distracted by other games.
I think mostly you played like 2 incredibly drunken games with me at the very beginning of 8th
we
edition.
played a couple
No,
more.
Yeah.
I remember when they dropped. We need to pick it up at midnight.
That was Warhammered.
Yeah, that's actually where
That was
Warhammered
where
started.
Warhammered. It was hammered.
The 8th edition drop.
Hammered and Anvil, which is that even still a mission?
No,
No.
not anymore.
Not yet.
I'm out. No more 9th edition. I don't even want to do it.
Not yet. There's a new mission book
Okay.
coming.
I was afraid that, like, I remember I looked at the book and I was like, that's like when they got rid of the hard pounding for Dystopian Wars. But Hammered and
Hard
Anvil
pounding.
was gone, and I was like, Walter, we Hammered and Anvil
Yeah,
for a while.
yeah.
There
we
was
had,
a
we had people watching as we
yeah.
did
There
not
were
know
people
rules.
watching us sweat and play
Oh,
40k.
I was a little sweaty.
Yeah.
So I was just watching you drink
You were-
Towards the end,
and eating all the cake that I didn't get.
Oh, because we had a Warhammer 40 cake.
we had a 40
I
was-
forgot about the 40
We had a
cake.
40 cake. And
I
we
didn't
had,
forget.
we
Never
had-
forget. I didn't
we
get
had,
it.
and we had blackberries and vodka.
And what cup? But
So,
oh my God, we need to make another 40 cake.
So, hottie.
You don't have to read the note. I think the point of her putting the note up there is so you can just see.
I
it
was
when you
gonna
don't
let
have
her-
to read
it
it.
doesn't-
I was gonna let our viewers know that if they need to go buy it, they just need to go. So, anyway, towards the end of 8th edition, the Psychic Awakening begins. And unfortunately, we don't really know what Psychic Awakening is until the 3rd book comes out. So, but however,
it's still new.
we start seeing these cool covers and the fact that every faction's gonna get something.
Yeah, can later on, I need to circle back to my bitch about that.
Okay.
That, I mean, it's fair. And by circle around, I mean do it
I
right
will
now while
give
you're
you the
talking.
40 cat in a second.
Okay.
But every faction's gonna get a thing, and there's some cool books and some cool lore. Now we're gonna say this is part 1 because there are
So many books.
Yeah, there are so many books to cover, and there's a lot of cool stuff. And if the problem is the Eldar in the first book, and it makes me want to go down rabbit holes because Eldar lore is awesome. But Walter needs to have the 40 cat.
Sisters of Battle didn't get anything cool in their book, and it made me so grouchy. And I know they just came out, so they probably didn't need it, but I wanted those Stragadoms.
And that's the thing. We knew they were coming, but they didn't come out until after that book had released.
Yeah, and again, I still wanted
Yeah.
stuff. They didn't
Okay.
give me cool new stuff. You know what they gave me? They gave me a ton of custodian stuff, which
Yeah.
I love them.
I was reading some
But my
notes.
sisters.
I don't know, unsolicited shout out to some folks that have a Patreon, Doomhammer. They have some really cool when they review books.
I do like doing
When they review books, lore is its own thing.
Yeah.
Like rules a thing, list building's a thing, but lore like actually is featured.
They're real cool.
And it really helped me because that was a lot of books I had to go back through, and so I reread all their stuff. But yeah, and that was actually a thing that I love the way that he writes. Like, and Psychic Awakening reminded us that Sisters of Battle exist. So,
Also,
but at the
I
same
was
time,
pissed that there was a book called Faith and Fury, and I'm like, this book has all the sister stuff in it. And
as Doomhammer pointed out, the Beast arises. You know, Gaskell's coming. Well, he's not in this story until it's mentioned. So anyway, I'm gonna try to bust through some books, and we will interject as needed.
Oh, thank you for the permission,
Right.
Robert, because I totally wouldn't have done
Well,
that without
because
you.
it is. They're
I'm just gonna ogle my.
if it's not your
Fan
faction,
fiction.
I understand if it's your faction focused in one of those books, it's one thing. They're just kind of dense, like just as like if you're a fan of the lore, there's a lot going on. So we begin with Phoenix Rising. Phoenix Rising, and Phoenix Rising is cool because what comes from Phoenix Rising? Janezar, Drazar. They appear.
We get Zard.
Drazar. Well, we got okay.
You
I'm
say
just here to help.
Drazar, I
You
say
say-
Drazar. Let's call the whole thing off.
Yes. All right.
There you go. That was your
Yes.
musical reference.
And I keep doing this, and I'm sure that Chase is like, "Oh God, I hate you all." So, Phoenix Rising, the Eldar get to come in first, which I'm sure there are people going, Eldar, me,
Eldar,
here, me.
The
So,
Eldar.
Elves
the Eldar
in
come in.
space.
The Eldar come in because it gives them a chance to circle back around and talk about Gilliman getting healed.
Woken up.
Because and that is also the prophecy that Walsh spoke of earlier. you know, when the last craft world falls, Yanid will come back, and which is cool because then you're gonna jump back over to like real old lore. I mean, like fantasy era, like because Yanid is the manifestation of the spirit of Assyrian mixed with the soul stones of the Eldar, and so you got cool stuff.
We should do a whole lore segment someday on Eldar and all their.
I love Eldar.
All of
Eldar lore is cool.
That'll actually get me to actually like.
Eldar lore.
And then we can talk about the Drukhari.
Eldar lore
reads
like
the real Eldar.
And Eldar has that. Maybe it's just me. Eldar has that kind of that Marvel comic. Well, it's that the Soul Stones. It has that Marvel Comics like Infinity Stones. It has the galactic feel.
I could bring someone like Exodites.
Well,
so I have a set of Exodites.
The Soul Stones, extra Soul Stones are kept alive in an Infinity Network.
An Infinity Circuit. Sir.
Continue. What do you
I
want to talk about?
was going to talk about my Exodites because you're super cool, and I made a bunch of neat Exodites out of Lizard Men and Eldar.
He said Exodites. Move on.
Okay.
Well, Exodites are cool boys.
I don't
someday
mind
they need a real
Exodites.
army.
You heard it here first, folks.
All right.
Yes, wild speculation. Exodites are coming in February 2021. Sure.
Yes.
Sounds good.
So, at the moment that the Cicatrix Maledictum, or the
Noctis Eterna,
or the Great Rift, the Great Rift. Yeah. As that appears, the Eldar freak out a little bit, and because what is it for the Eldar? The Ronodondra.
The Ronodondra.
So yes.
No.
So
I think you didn't roll your R's enough.
I've never been able to do it on.
I can't roll my R's either.
The Ronodondra.
Yes. So at the time that things really start going bad, the Eldar, of course, say so long and thanks for all the fish, and they're planning to finally do their big sort of I don't know. They always like indicate like when the Eldar. It's like in Lord of the Rings, when the elves or the Eldar when they leave. It's like where are you going?
Are you suggesting that Games Workshop would steal any of their plot or anything from perhaps super famous intellectual property?
Absolutely.
This is where I really wish.
Where do you get off?
Fuck off like Judge Dredd to appear over the front. This was like 2000 AD or Alien. Anyway.
How very dare you?
Remember,
sir?
Madeline, when you were like, come up with some pictures that we can put in front of stuff? There is no way we'll know about those ahead of time. That's insane. That's a crazy thought.
Yes. So as we're pushing in, the Eldar go to war with the Slanesh. Shalaxi Hellbane, who has a cool model, because that book also ushered in really cool new Slaneshi stuff. If you're, I wouldn't say bent that way, but maybe salaciously curved.
Don't.
Yeah.
Don't yucky my yummy.
So
this is how we do.
Central to this book, aside from Jane Czar,
That's what the Slaneshi horses.
Jane Czar, Drazar, of course. If you look at other lore, or if you're a fan of the Dawn of War games, those two have killed each other a few times. Actually, that's what I learned. Jane Czar used to have black armor, and then Drazar cut her in half. And so
these things happen.
when she came back, she had white armor.
It's good to be a Phoenix Lord.
Yes. Oh, and that's another cool thing. Drazar, could he be the fallen Phoenix Lord? That was the whole thing. There's that could go into craft world. That could go into Eldar lore. It's
Is he the founder of the Striking Scorpions?
Yeah. But it's also the fact that Drazar has been, when he was killed by Jane Czar, he didn't like come back, but some incubi, what do they call them? Incubi
Clavix?
Took the armor, and then Drazar was like, cool, you're in the armor, I'm gonna join you.
Well, that's how all the Phoenix Lords work. They all like.
But Jane Czar, they never said it, but like Jane Czar, she just kind of came back.
Well, but I thought
because
they're all
the
like
soul stones.
people.
It's the souls within the
and they're all like, you're the next Jane Czar.
No.
You're really.
But anyway, we talk a lot about Yvraine. Yvraine is the emissary of Yanid, who is the Eldar god of death. And Yvraine is the one that comes in, and she's able to, with a little bit of help, don't tell Matt, help heal the Gilliman.
Allegedly.
With a little bit of help.
Keep that Xenos propaganda
Because
out of here.
that was the cool thing about one of those books is where it was the Mechanicum sent a bunch of emissaries into the webway in a dark. Remember the Dark Mark and was struck.
Oh yeah, where like all
a bunch of Makos.
They went to talk to the Drukhari, and they're all.
Well, they went to the Black Library.
Yeah. No, they didn't go to the Black Library. They went to the
Oh, I thought they went all the way. I thought they went all the way to the Black Library.
No kids go to.
But there was.
Where would you rather go to, Comarat or the Black Library?
I mean,
I like
How much cash money do I have to spend?
I
Because I
like
figure Komarog's an expensive town.
You're gonna go to
What happens in Komarog stays in Komarog.
What happens in Colorado ends up with you a plain skin on a spike.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I'll just go read some stuff.
We need to
There's
talk about
gotta be-
Fabius Vile's Adventures in Komarog sometime.
Oh God. Okay, so that rant made my iPad go to sleep.
Ah!
That had my notes on it. So yes. So the Eldar
Viva Komarog!
at the beginning of the Great Rift, the Eldari, sorry, go to war, or not go to war, but continue to fight against Slaanesh. Because Slaanesh, of course, with a rift opening and the warp getting stronger, Slaanesh becomes stronger. So yes,
I think 3 boob strength.
there's a thing. Yeah. There's
Upper
Yvraine goes up and fights directly against
that's
Shalaxi Hellbane, holds her own, and then later on, apparently, like somehow she's informed that Shalaxi Hellbane was like, I was holding back.
I don't know who Shalaxi Hellbane is. Is she a keeper of
Keep.
Yeah.
The big cube with the
They.
secrets?
They, maybe?
I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, no,
I mean, they have a lot of.
Shalaxi Hellbane is the name, the model. In
Okay, keep
that
that
big
secret.
box.
That's what I
Yeah. And of course, the Phoenix Rising would be Yenneet Rising as the.
It's also there's several Phoenix
She's
Lords
the
involved.
Phoenix.
Yes.
And several Phoenix Lords.
Yes.
Just
You
one,
also
maybe
find out
two.
some really cool things,
One
like the reason that Slaanesh is becoming so powerful, and this is also what leads into what maybe be what could be the future for Craftworld's codexes.
Eldari Codex. It's all going to be one codex, and there's going to be
And this is
as
why.
we establish
And
with
this-
100%
yes.
true.
And this is why
Accuracy.
Shalaxi
That's what we're here
Hellbane
for.
shows up with the 5th Crone Sword. There are the Eldar.
What are the Crone swords?
The Crone Swords
Did they get it from the Crone Zone?
maybe the low Cal Crone Zone. So the Crone Swords are 5 blades that were made from the figure bones of I can never say her name right, but it's the consort of Cain.
How do you spell it?
It's Morag Haig.
For you anatomy nerds out there from the phalanges.
Yes. Anyway, the Eldar have named 4 of them.
He's way more prepared than we are.
The internet's a thing.
I had a bunch of calls a cool boy.
Yeah.
I mean, like literally, my notes are like call a cool cowboy
Yeah.
with an eye.
Oh, and also quickly with the Hellbane stuff. So anyway, Shalaxi Hellbane has the 5th sword, which is not named. There's a thing in Eldar lore where all the Crone swords have names, and Yvraine has one of them. Shalaxi Hellbane has one, and the Eldari as a whole realize they need to try to retrieve this thing, or it's going to be the end of their race, because Slaanesh is the devourer of the Eldar souls.
She who thirsts.
Yes, and okay.
I think it's my only sign language, and it wants more souls. I don't know what soul is.
Souls.
So if anyone knows sign language for soul,
And,
you want
the-
more.
Draw it in chat.
yes.
Send it to us.
Yes.
And
Send us a video.
the other cool thing about that is, as Yvraine is planning the assault on Shalaxi Hellbane's force, she is joined by none other than Lilith Hesperax.
What?
If you are a Lilith Hesperax fan, she does get involved. However,
And little side note, little Hesperax probably getting a new model soon because they showed that like rumor monger thing where it was like a hair sword and she's got hair knives.
I bet that's their lieutenant model. 'Cause I feel like everybody's getting a lieutenant.
Maybe so.
that's fine.
But hair blades. That's what
She might have an
that's her-
alternate stat line, and then and the big thing in this is that the Eldari trying to retrieve this blade is going to be the Eldari on a giant suicide mission. So the Eldari trying to retrieve the 5th Crone Sword is going to result in Craftworld after Craftworld going down,
Not built in.
potentially all the corporate Craftworlds going down, which would lead to the birth of Yenneed. Because you need more Crone Swords.
Wow.
Phoenix, that might have been the hardest book for me because Eldar lore goes all the way Eldar lore goes to back to the 80s. Like it goes.
Yeah. So we need to do a deep dive in like 80s Warhammer Star Children.
Ooh,
Doom Rider?
retcons.
We already did Doom Rider.
Dude.
We did Doom Rider.
We did.
this week. I'm
So?
so sorry.
Is there a beginning or end to Doom Rider? Okay.
They're just gushing plasma.
And then,
we
however,
can see if we can bring up Doom Rider in every.
if we go
Let's
if,
do favorite retcons.
if we go, I like that card. If we go to Phoenix Rising Book 2,
There you go.
we're going to get some Walter
Are you gonna?
because we're gonna talk about Faith and Fury.
You're gonna get me being pissed at the fact
Yes.
that sisters aren't in a book called Faith and Fury.
Faith and Fury. Faith and
I
Fury.
found that weird.
Start talking about
Yes.
it. You have a little bit of time before it's time for hot
The-
Space Marine canon.
The word bearers.
Does it say canon with two N's on the thing? Because that'd make me real sad.
Once and
Oh, hold on.
Oh,
Hold on.
oh,
Hold on. I'm gonna move the old iPad cuz.
set that
Once
aside.
and for
Mirage
all,
Ray.
who are the real good guys of 40K?
I had a tough question.
Orcs.
It was
Eldar,
Eldar, Orcs,
Orcs, or Tau.
Okay, first of all,
All right.
Tau.
No.
You gotta put
No.
Tail.
No. Taw.
Taw.
Strictly it's
Taw.
Tau.
Because anytime I hear Brian Bledsoe say it, I chuckle.
All right.
So orcs are neutral,
Oh.
just straight up. There's
Who wants to take? Okay.
You go first.
You got
Hot take.
everyone make up their thought on who's the real good guys.
so we got good, bad, and neutral.
It's,
Or
or we're doing like fuck, marry, kill. Eldar, Orcs, and Tau. All right, we're changing your question.
Fine.
I'm so sorry. We're
Fine.
actually now playing
So,
fuck,
okay,
marry,
okay.
kill.
so which of those three is the good guys? Mary?
Mary
You're
seems
gonna
like
stick
a
with
good
them?
guys, yeah.
All right.
yeah,
And fuck is just the fun times,
Sure.
and kill is the FB's guys.
Sure. Go.
Yeah.
All right. Mary Tau, right? Tau are obviously they're making expansions. They got plans.
They
They got
probably can
future. I could bring
They can
Tau
probably
home.
cook.
I could bring Tau home to my parents, and they have like they have a degree.
Oh.
They have the Ta. They have the whole thing. Like I could bring them home and be like, Mom, Dad, this is the Tau, and they'd be like, oh, these, yeah. I mean,
oh yeah.
You bring
Tau's got.
Commander Shadow Sun
This is
home.
great.
Yeah,
You're a much
Tao's
gooder
got-
person.
Tau's got a master's
This is-
degree in like
This is
business
Commander.
No, Tau's got an MBA.
This is
Yeah.
Commander
Alright.
Shadow Sun.
Yeah.
What's your
and-
first name, honey? Commander.
Commander
Yeah.
Shadow's son.
Yeah.
And anyway, and they would love, my parents would love the Tau,
Oh,
right?
okay.
They're a little, and that sort of thing, they would be 100% on board. Fuck orcs. I mean, that's
They'd be the
nice,
best.
right? You
That'd be
are,
fun.
that is
Don't
one,
make your stand until Walter's done because there's no point. It's just gonna talk over you.
one wog. That is, all those extra A's are for extra
Sure.
satisfaction. So
Multiple.
those orcs are ribbed for my pleasure. So the point is I think you would have a long weekend that you would not clearly remember about orcs, but mwah. And then Eldar, they would just be whining the whole time. You would like go out them and like, please tell me about yourself, and they're like, well, it all started 16 million years ago, and the old ones abandoned me, and I'm very sad. And it's like, I don't care. Go away. I don't. They're very dry. Like, they just wouldn't be fun. I know everyone's all like, no, Dark Eldar, whatever.
The Eldar leave you with a smooth, dry
A
finish.
smooth, dry finish.
Alright.
The Eldar are the Tinder date you go on because they have really good pics, but you regret everything. You're like, I did. This was not great. It's like I swiped and then was like, oh, what I did was wrong. This whole thing was terrible.
I'm gonna give 40 Kit to Matt because of what just happened.
My FMK would follow the same thing. Tau would be really
Yeah.
good cooks and they'd be able to take care of you.
Take
Orcs
home
would
mom.
just be fun, and Eldar are just, fuck, you want to punch them in the face.
Good.
But as far as good guys go, let's just get to that section.
Matt wants to answer the actual question and not just go off on something stupid.
Hey, he's got 40 Kit.
I got the 40 kit.
Nope.
None of them.
Go to the 40.
And there you go.
Oh,
Oh.
you're Mr. Imperium.
Snap. Dropping.
I didn't say they were good guys either.
All right. So here's the deal. Here's the deal.
Hey-o.
Here's my hot take because I've never really. House Benitez. Oh my goodness, are they approving of this?
Yeah, they should be.
Are they approving of the tall? So here's the deal. Here's the deal.
All right.
I'm gonna say it. Ready?
Hold on. I need to cool down for this hot take.
Ready?
My jimmies are Russell.
Ready? Here we
You
go.
let me unrussle my jimmies.
All right.
Okay?
That was
All right.
That's some classic.
I'm going
right
to
there.
kill the tall.
What?
They're a bunch of racists.
So is everyone
Are
in the
they?
40 days.
I know they are, but I'm just gonna go with
They're
them
the most racist.
because of my psychic awakening like research.
Oh.
I'm currently feeling pretty
Psychic
salty
Awakening Tau are
towards the
super
Tau
racist.
because
They are not
because
woke.
of there's the Tau and their spheres of exploration expansion. That's how they move.
Yeah.
It's the fourth sphere is the really bad
Sphere.
one, and that's the one that Shadow Sun is like kind of
In
a part of.
their defense.
I have the fourth sphere.
Okay,
Okay, we'll come back to that. I am not a fan. I mean, here's the deal. I love Tau models. I think they're cool. They've got robots. Their grab vehicles are cool.
Go.
They have that hammerhead ship with those cool missiles that can get some stuff done. They have the giant. What's the big one?
Broadside, Riptide,
The big one.
Storm Surge.
The Storm Surge. He's cool. I'm not a fan. I'm just not a fan of
Killing Tau.
I'm not a fan of the Tau.
Who are you marrying? Who are you fucking?
Well, I mean, the craft worlds. I mean, the craft worlds. They like crafts, you know. So like, I like a good DIY. I feel like if I had a nice relationship built in the craft worlds, I'd get some hobby time in.
Yeah, you know.
I could paint a miniature or two, a little wraith knight.
You want some Eldar that have some Path of the Macrame, whatever that they're willing to.
Path of the minifig.
Yeah, no,
Sure.
Okay.
Sure. And here's the other
I
thing.
can find
Here's the other thing, and this is something that like you only really get glimpses of. Craft worlds sound really cool because they're spaceships that are massive, so they have decent air conditioning.
They are
sure.
I love craft macaroni and cheese.
I'm sure that my allergies would not be a problem on a craft world ship. I wouldn't have the hay fever.
Unless you're allergic to wraith stuff.
You know, I'll take my chances. And then I'll have like
Space Zyrtec?
and then I'll have a well, I'd go on, you know, Path of the Antihistamine.
You gotta get that
Yeah.
Zyrtec D.
Yeah.
That's what
That's the good stuff.
It's the best
I know about the Zyrtec D.
The
best DM ever had.
Zyrtec Exarch. The Zyrtec like Exarch strength. And then I have a dirty weekend.
Everyone's got their orc flank.
I'll have a dirty weekend with the orcs because man, orc vehicles. And you know,
go fast.
You could get away with if you had that, like if you had a bad date, punch a snotling.
Yeah, you're good to go.
You know,
Well,
and plus
that fucking an orc, you just can't go wrong.
Ah, yes. What?
okay.
That's what
Anyway,
we're running.
I'm gonna
We're getting to the thing. We're getting to the time.
So
My
here's the
favorite
deal.
section.
So here's the deal. We made it through one Psychic Awakening book.
We are so
So,
good at this.
one of 6?
Oh no, it's like 8.
I'm gonna blame what Mirage Rain ruined it for us and just decided.
So here's the deal.
Who's the good guy?
We're gonna talk more Psychic Awakening in future episodes.
Yes.
Maybe we'll do a few here and there.
That could be like a segment of each one.
Yeah.
It could take us a while because the books because we need to get in there. We can get in there. We can talk rules and things people get because the models came out. It's cool.
Oh, Robert, I love this this naive view. It could take us a while because there's a lot of rules and more to talk about. Not, it could take us a while because
Because
we
we
have
need
the
to talk
attendance
about.
span.
I might add the War of the Spiders my rant.
War of the Scooter.
I need to talk about. Well, yeah, and I need to talk about my dinner.
The
Christmas.
fact that
Yuletide with the fam on the Craft World built
there you go. The fact that we cannot talk about why it will take us a long time to talk about it in a short amount of time. Fanfic or canon? Oh my god, so okay. So the rules of this whole game, we're gonna talk about this.
You ready for this?
This is the thing that was flagrantly stolen.
Not really.
I have 3 bits here. They are either a piece of legitimate Black Library published fiction, or they are some depraved fan fiction that either I wrote or I found on the internet somewhere. They're all one of those.
How many times do you say?
Listen, I have a theme here. I have a theme for these, and I want you to see.
Loops.
Loops. Yeah, there's neither of those. But I'm going to read all 3, and then you're going to say which ones you think are real or which ones
Are these excerpts or just like?
I'm reading direct quotes.
Oh God, he's not going to read us the whole story.
I'm going to read.
No, but I
they're
have to
each
know if
about
it was
paragraph or
just
two.
like a
However,
lower tidbit or an
disclaimer,
excerpt.
none of this would happen if we didn't have, if it wasn't for the wonderfulness of Dan Abnett and Aaron Dibsky Bowden and Gravit Neal and the things that they have made up.
There are certain
Just random
trends
shit.
that we have that we love in the thing. All right. So the theme of this one is sexy space marines.
Oh, Smexy?
Smexy space marines.
Game
All right.
Seth, answer. Final.
So I'm going to read 3 of these.
Oh.
Yeah.
At the end of the 3, you're going to say which ones you think are real, which ones.
Okay.
Sure.
They could all be real. They could all be fake.
Oh.
There's
I think
rules. I can switch
Lionel
things up.
Johnson has those curls.
Okay.
That name is.
These are all just direct quotes from either a piece of work
Sure.
online or thing. All right. Number 1.
Yes.
He was almost a meter taller than her and naked but for a loincloth. She sighed inwardly at the splendor of his physique, the knotted muscles, the old ridge scars. He was handsome too, this one. Fair hair almost silver, cut short, his pale skin slightly freckled, his eyes like rain. What a waste, she thought.
Well, I can't stand
So
up.
that's number one. It's number one.
Oh, are you supposed to guess?
No, I'm gonna go
At
for
the
all
end.
three, and then you're gonna
Okay.
decide which three. But that's the
Okay.
first one. What a waste, this one. Knotted muscles, naked but for a loincloth. Yet the
To
second
cover his smooth area.
second part, right? Second part.
Yeah.
Yet still there was to be a branding upon the leather tough buttocks, an imprint of a clenched fist no larger than a fingernail.
On the
Oh,
clenched buttocks.
Only this was indeed to be an honor, for the sergeant himself personally wielded the electro iron when Alexandro, Jeremy, and Biff bent over to Fletch the great gluteal muscles of their rumps. That was number two.
Bounce an imperial quarter off of it.
Just right on a credit, right off of it.
Yeah.
All right, gluteal muscles. And finally, on more than one occasion, I stood with her and her warband in the communal showers after training, blind and numb to any sensation of desire, watching her wash her hair and listening to her speak of serving the sweltering jungles of Varoxis, killing heretics who spilled from a downgrowed trader vessel. Bizarrely, the Catan had declared, upon seeing me wash myself, that my ascension to knighthood was a great shame. Captain Castard explained to me the meaning several months later, though I still did not see the humor in it. All right, so we have, just a little reminder, we have one, naked but for a loincloth splendor physique. We have number two, the great gluteal muscles of their rumps. And finally, number three, sexy shower time.
So we have
Sexy Space Marine shower
silver
time.
foxes, asses, and showers.
Silver foxes, asses, and showers. All right.
Right.
No, don't discount these. I want to get your separate
Oh,
answers.
okay.
That's all your thing.
All right,
That's all your
okay.
thing. All right, Matt, tell me which ones are real.
One
which ones are
is.
fake.
I really hope it's fake, but I can believe it's real. 2 and 3 are fake.
2 or 3 are fake. All right. So you're saying one might be real. You're going with one is real.
Yes.
2 and 3 you're saying cannot be real.
One I hope is fake.
One you hope is fake, but
I'm
you
saying
could
it's
believe
real.
it.
Yeah.
All right, Robert, lay it on me. Number one.
One.
Splendor of his
One.
physique, naked but
One.
for a loincloth.
Is
Did I not?
I'm gonna
I
try
thought I
to-
gave a nice.
I'm gonna
overview
try.
of
I'm
my
really
answer.
going to try to go on a little one. Is that the beginning of Horus Rising?
But I want to get
Okay.
your answer first.
I
I'll
feel like
discuss.
one is real because I feel like that's the beginning of Horus
I'm
Rising.
going to give all the answers.
Whenever she
I'm gonna
heard when she goes to see Loki,
I have sources for everything I'm doing. So.
I feel like 1 and 2 are real and 3 is not because I cannot
Gluteal
imagine.
rumps, you're saying.
I
is
think
real.
that
Okay.
the silver fox
Bold.
and asses are straight up,
Okay.
and I think that communal showers are lost on Space Marines with smooth
Starship
areas.
Troopers.
Because I bet that
Okay.
by the third time, because man, we could talk about it. It's when Space Marines become Ken dolls because of the Emperor's Children.
Okay. So we're talking about that. So you're saying 1 and 2 are real, 3 is fake.
1 and 2
All
are
right.
real, 3 is fake.
I'm going to admit
What
I
did you
cheat.
say?
He said 1 was maybe real.
1 was
2
maybe
was
real.
fake.
You know what's gonna happen? It's all 3 are gonna be fake.
I did cheat a little bit. All 3 of these are real.
Oh.
These are all
Yeah.
honest to God things
What-
in fan fiction.
what
One,
is
you
from
collect
Horus
Oh,
Horus
no,
Rising.
wait. They're all fan fiction?
They're all
No,
real.
they're all real.
These are
Alright,
all
alright,
honest to God real. The first one was Horus Rising. This came from the most famous set of
At
books
the very
at the very beginning when a Remembrancer is talking to Loken and she's all like,
Yeah.
"Oh,
No,
this guy, I'm all
because
flustered."
because whenever a long time ago when I first like Horus Rising, so this is the thing I should read. I'm like, what the hell is this?
Dan Nabnett, who I respect
Okay.
to death, she sighed inwardly at the
Yes.
splendor of his physique. Oh,
That
that is
is-
pure. That is some 50
Yes.
Shades of Grey action right
Yes,
there.
because Space Marines are totally.
I told you I
The
couldn't
second
stand up
one
after
is
reading that.
the second one, gluteal muscles of their rumps. That is, if you have not read it, which obviously the two of you haven't, Ian Watson in the long ago.
Oh my goodness.
Wrote
Okay.
a book called
Alright.
Space Marine. This is what CS:GO reminded me of.
We
It
should
is
not.
amazing. It is the
Okay.
Imperial Fists off of Necromunda, and there is so much. It's like a 12-year-old wrote a lot of the humor.
Dude,
it is magical.
Ian
None of
Watson,
this is
any of
canon
Ian Watson
anymore.
stuff is just
Oh,
out there.
oh, it's so good. It's so bad.
I submit we
Look at
Yes.
I submit
Oh.
Ian Watson should not have been included
No.
in this.
You know-
Ian Watson is
You know
a
he watches.
wonderful bit of thing.
He watches.
was. Oh, really? Is that it?
Yeah, he's there.
The third
I'm
is
sorry, Ian Watson.
the third is
I'm not.
Mr. Aaron Dembski Bowden himself.
Yeah.
In the Emperor's Gift, talking about a space marine that's working with a bunch of Inquisitors, and when he's getting all lathered up,
Showing off his gift.
they show off the Emperor's Gift. Yeah, we know what the Emperor's Gift is.
That's short story.
That's the whole book.
Yeah,
Oh.
I haven't read it yet.
There's a bunch of good stuff. It's a very good book, but there is a hilariously gratuitous shower scene.
All right.
Yes, Starship Troopers style.
That was you
I
started.
want to see that made into a movie just so we can have, because I want him to like walk in there and drop his towel, and then that whatever the song that's from all the '80s movies, like bow chow bow,
Dave,
bow bow, and it's like because it's one of the like Inquisitors like warriors is like looking like does the like
yeah.
oh yeah.
Oh, it's like-
I want everything about that as a thing.
So like the basketball scene where she has to punch the team at the end.
Ferris Bueller's Day in the Crusade.
You
There-
haven't seen basketball?
I've not seen basketball.
That's
The point is I want '80s movies.
Yeah.
Yes. And
Oh,
she's all
man.
like,
No. That was you started that first one. I was like, oh god, I know exactly what this is.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
And again, those are that horse racing. Those are the good books.
And that first
They
one.
still found
And here's the
themselves
big deal.
for it.
That first one, you get. This is what you get. That.
I was so happy to
This
look
is-
these up.
I'm not even.
Oh, these are
I'm
bad
not even
books.
gonna call this a spoiler because this is the first chapter of the Horse Rising. You get. I was there when Horus killed the Emperor.
Yes.
And it's like,
Oh,
what's
yeah.
gonna happen?
They're good.
And then, and
Yeah.
like Bill Withers starts playing, and it's like, here she comes, and she's gonna talk about this hot guy.
Yeah, I want to see a little prince playing in the
I would
background.
say, Garfield Loken, husbando
Yeah.
of the
She
Looney
walks in
Wolves.
the office and it's like, all I need is your.
I mean, Horse Rising.
Yes.
It could just
Yeah.
be an anime.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Well, Tonto Corey.
Oh my
30K
God.
edition.
What's the word? Bishi. What's the word for sexy anime boys?
Shisho?
Sexy anime boys?
No, there's a word.
Sexy?
For it. No, there's not a word. So sexy anime.
Text Vanessa Reyes.
Yeah, that's right.
Text our coworkers and find out about
Sexy-
sexy anime boys.
My
That's gonna be in your Google history.
in Google history is sexy anime.
You know that's gonna be there.
Oh, so many pictures.
For the-
Oh wow.
For the sake
That did not give me the information I wanted.
for
That
the
just got me.
glory
What'd you get?
I mean, just a ton of sexy anime. To be
for
fair,
the
I don't
for
know.
the for the
Yeah,
for the
that's what
for
that
the
is.
Imperium
Yeah.
for
Look
the
at that.
Imperium
Oh,
look at
sexy
that.
anime boys.
So many. They're actually surprisingly decent, but there's a lot of this action with
Yeah.
their shirts open.
How many of them are sweating?
Not a lot.
That
I
one's
feel there was-
glistening.
But nobody's got their shirts on properly.
So what
None
are
of
they
these
called?
sexy anime boys know how to wear
Garfield
shirts.
Loken.
Sexy anime boys.
You know, I mean, knowing how people that we work with, we could say Garfield Loken, the Jeffrey Dean Morgan of the horse heresy.
Somebody out there has got to know what the word. There's like it's like bishi or something. There's a word for sexy anime boys, and now I'm sad that I don't.
Yeah, I know. I'm waiting. Wow, we had some real good feedback until we tried to actually rely on our community, and they were like, "Screw you,
Thanks, everybody.
Flounder,
Come on, somebody out there knows what a sexy
flounder."
anime boy is.
Yeah,
Anyway.
yeah. I don't want to.
Somebody knows Japanese out
The
there.
point is,
you
yes,
know.
okay, we're all on board for horse heresy, sexy, like he's all like super skinny, but like his waist, but he's like got real big muscles and
Yeah.
stuff, that sort of thing.
He skips leg day, but he doesn't
He's
really.
got the hourglass figure. You get it.
And his hair, he's got hair that's like in front of his eye, but you can see through it, and he's all like,
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
then what's her name? Whoever the Remembrancer, she walks in, she's got like,
Euphrates Keeler.
she's got the big like sweat droplet in the back, and she's like, oh,
Yeah.
she goes all cheesy.
Well, yeah, and Euphrates.
Chibi,
Here's the
remember
deal.
Chibi is.
And here's the
Yeah.
deal. Because she is a remembrancer,
That's-
she's taking pictures the whole time.
Husbando!
Yeah, husband. But like Euphrates Keeler, because she's got the thing. She's got the thing in her
Is that
eye.
the opposite of a waifu, I presume?
Yeah. And
So-
so as soon as she sees
I
him, she's
see
just
it.
going click, 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 click.
Oh yeah, she's
Yeah.
taking up the.
She has a
the-
file.
I'll save these for later for
Yeah.
remembering.
For- putting it-
I'm gonna remember.
She's putting it in. Yeah, she's it's like remembrance or files is gonna go great in my cloud.
This is going to
So-
go into a book
Yeah.
She's all like a
called
But then-
Stardust Gone Wild.
Then next thing you know, like Logan's got like a Chris Evans accidental dick pic like issue going on and everything. He's having to
We
make
should-
an apology on
We
Imperial.
should talk about. We
Imperial
should.
Instagram.
We could talk about how the Emperor's
Am I
children
that
are like
early?
responsible for Emperor's
Did
children.
you not know that Chris
Oh.
Evans accidentally showed his dong to like the world?
Young dog.
Oh my God, he was doing. This has nothing to do with 40K at all, but I think everyone needs to know it. He was like doing some like game like on his phone, like online with his family or whatever. It was like very wholesome. And then like it got to the end of that
But
game.
he was naked.
No, it got to the end of that game, and they're like, he was streaming or whatever, got to the end of the game, and then it goes to his camera roll, and one of his camera rolls is Grr,
He's just hanging dong in his camera roll.
hanging down.
He might have been checking for 2 minutes.
Man, no. Chris Evans apparently has a magnificent dong, and he wants to show it to somebody.
Yeah.
So, well, presumably in a
Which
acceptable
all right, ready?
fashion.
We're gonna do a real loop, and we're gonna tie this in to our
Logan's
show.
dong.
We're gonna start casting. We're gonna start casting our movies.
Oh
So,
yeah, next
yeah,
time
not now,
casting
not
some
now,
people. I
but
like
yes.
it. Casting people, come up
What
with
movies?
Because
Look,
No, just like what?
Let's
no,
give a teaser.
because okay,
What-
ready,
what movie?
ready,
Let's
ready.
give a
I'm gonna
teaser.
go a little vague, but one of my favorite characters, Yachten Cruz of the Luna Wolves,
Oh, okay.
and that's Nicholson. The grumpy
That's a real good story.
old space marine
Here's the
that
thing.
doesn't want to do anything
All right.
but is willing.
Very
That's
few
our
characters.
rants here are us talking
Fine.
about next
Oh,
movies.
yeah.
So this is that's
Very few
fine.
characters.
We're
you
gonna,
have
we're
to
gonna walk
put
through that
notes
door.
in.
Well, no, I think we're done. Are we? What's up? Are we doing the thing? All right. I don't know.
All right, so rants and wild speculation. Rants.
Next.
I'm going to start with rants.
Oh, I forgot to do the
Oh,
whooshy.
hold on.
before.
Yeah. Well, it's all right. That's got 40 kid.
For rants, anytime that I'm on the internet and looking at Warhammer stuff, which is
The site you go to. No.
all the time, and people see,
I believe that's one of 8 tabs you have open.
yes, next episode,
It's
something
COVID
with the
coping.
7th art.
Hey,
What
hold on there.
COVID coping, the internet tab edition.
is when you see
I
a
purged my browser history. I think.
You need another Sir of the Sea Breeze? Yeah.
when you see something like the changes to auras and core units, don't just apply that to everything going forward and right away. They even said in the article that it's going to be starting with the Marines and then Codex is going forward, and you have no idea what it's going to be. But I see it. I've seen people that's like, well, now this changes, and now I can't do X.
I'm just gonna burn my
Oh
army.
my god! I'm
Yeah.
just gonna throw it all in the trash. You have no idea what your army is
I
going to do when
agree.
you go to
Like,
King's
this
Out.
is how Space Marines are. The Tau Army is useless
Oh, right.
now. Burn my
Yeah,
god.
that's just that's another one. The core rulebook is useless day one because GW support is shit. It's like that's not.
I mean, it's you know.
Well, one.
One.
It's a game.
What?
Sorry.
Hold on.
But hot take.
How dare
Hot
you?
take.
Now, it's a way-
Warhammer.
You
is
son of a
game.
It's a way of life.
If only I had not heard that from a real person.
Ah.
I wish out there.
So yeah,
Kid, talking
continue.
kid.
my rant is just knee-jerk reactions. Let's just keep the knees unjerked, okay? The only jerks are for chicken.
Oh
Okay. Love jerk chicken.
There's that place down on 39th and Main. It's in an old drive-through bank building right next to Unicorn Theater. Traditional Jamaican food.
But it's right next to Q39.
No, it's you gotta keep going. You gotta
Okay,
keep going.
farther on.
Yep.
Can we have
Yeah.
jerk chicken next time before we
I vote jerk chicken.
on?
40K
Oh, yeah.
jerk chicken.
So knee-jerk reactions to
We
see
should
things.
eat all. We
Yes,
should eat
Marines
on
are getting
screen.
I should not.
a slight
Under
nerf.
no circumstances should I eat on screen.
You could do a whole. You could do a whole like. Oh shit! What do they call it? You know, whenever you're.
ASMR.
Yeah, you could ASMR. Oh, Walt Samar. WASMR. Waxamar.
The only
Okay.
thing I worry about is I do that and then national productivity just
Or
plummets.
They
I mean,
just-
everyone's
no,
doing
what
it.
happens is you do that and you walk outside, there's like farm animals outside.
That's a problem. I've
Yeah.
had that problem at home.
So anyway, back to 40 Cat.
So yes, rants, knee-jerk reactions. Don't just go off the deep end because you see something applied to one unit. Nothing. It's you're annoying, you're stupid, and
Ow. Yeah, do it
Wow,
now.
he just said
Do it
He's
now.
like, no, it's totally
Yes.
cool, people. You're a piece of shit.
Yes.
Whoever's doing this.
Rip
well,
that mic off of there and just drop it.
it's just a litmus test that helps me know that you're not smart, and I really hope that you just don't have children ever.
Wow.
Who's next?
Wow. Rich.
I don't. I
know.
Wow. That's. I feel good on that.
I mean, here, we're gonna put 40 Cat here. Well, I mean, that, so here, it kind of ties in. Primaris Marines come out. Miniature technology advances. Cool things happen, and people go, well, it looks like since we never got true scale Marines, they've retconned the lore so that we can justify having these miniatures. It's like, no, I mean, rants are, that's kind of why they're here. We're just gonna bitch about people.
Yeah, bitch about people.
People on the internet. But it's again, and it ties into my so model wise, it ties into this. If it's a cool looking miniature to you, buy it and paint it. If you don't like it, don't buy it, don't paint it, play with the shit you have because they've made allowances for that. My wild speculation.
I'm just gonna speculate.
I don't have any speculation. We did wild speculations earlier.
I know.
A bunch of
My wild speculation is this though. For people who missed out, my wild speculation is, I think that because we've had.
I've got to pee real bad, big dog.
All right, ready? I think because we've had a hell of a 2020, and I don't mean that as like a woo. We've had a 9-month march. My speculation is that Games Workshop, who are riding higher than they have in years, are going to give us something at Christmas beyond our Christmas bundles. I think we're going to get. I think that good old Gilliman Kringle is going to bring us some stuff.
The Red Gobbo.
That we. Hell yeah. I think the Red Gobbo
All right.
is going to bring us some stuff for both sides of the game. I also want to speculate this. We're maybe going to do a Warhammered about it.
Please.
I talk about my spooky skelly boys. I've also forgotten what I was going to say.
And the huggy, cuddly, lovey ogres.
I had a thing to say.
You had a thing to say.
He gonna soil
Let me
himself.
rephrase that. You've had things to say about everything. So after we established your ASMR eating show and the future Space Marine Husbando episodes, I have some guests in mind for that one.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So Lionel would have that.
Yeah.
Oh, he would have that super anime hair and like that long.
Question for speculation.
Yeah.
Lionel's hair would
What
there
would come
be no
back first?
variation.
Battlefield Gothic or Epic?
Oh.
What gets done first?
It's gonna be Battlefield. I would love to see Epic come in, but I think it'll be Battlefield Gothic. If it's gonna happen.
Can you count Epic as Titanicus with
No.
more?
Or what do you say?
Sure. Yeah.
Adding infantry.
I think adding
six.
a bunch of 8mm nonsense to Titanic. That's what
That would be awesome. I think it's gonna be Battlefield Gothic because the computer game is so. The computer
or-
game is going so well.
Man of War.
No.
/ Jet Fleet. Any
No.
chance?
I don't think so.
No.
I mean,
I don't see it.
I mean,
don't see it.
I don't
But I
think
also
that's
see
gonna
real
happen.
a
bad.
competitor
What about-
has come out with a new one.
Oh,
So the new
but soon. Hey, one of those Deuce and Rumors things.
Deuce
We're
and
gonna-
Rumors
hey,
Ultra.
Here's the thing. How about this? Wild speculation. As soon as we know more, let's do like a Blood Bowl thing.
Oh,
Because all that new Blood Bowl
I
stuff
want
is
to
coming
do
out.
a Blood Bowl.
Blood Bowl season 2.
All right, everybody.
Would you want my watch?
Thank you for joining us.
Yes. All right. 2 weeks.
Whatever.
2 weeks.
2
Space
weeks.
Marine Husbandos.
Every other Space Marine
Shitty
Husbando,
bands that Space
shitty
Marines
bands
listen
that
to.
Space Marines listen to, and I thought we had something else. I think that's
Drinks.
it. And drinks.
Drinks.
Tiki drink. If anyone has a good
Yes.
tiki drink for me, this was delicious, and I thank whoever.
Yes.
Somebody in the stream told me
Yes.
about it.
And also,
Boom,
Send me
boom.
beers and
if
I'll
you have drinks
I'll
that
go
you
find
want to
them.
see in the future at the cafe, let me know.
All right. Love it. Thanks.
Oh, the camera's over here.
Oh,